I think the old magic found its way back into our world through a dream. Just a dream. Nothing more.
Your project is to identify everyone with talent?
Yes.
Even if it's just potential and even if they haven't used it yet?
Damn it, I shouldn't have told you.
Is that what it does?
You cannot breathe a word of this to anyone.
Amanda, do you have any idea what you're doing?
Yeah. Saving children.
We have to destroy it.
Are you crazy? That's my life's work.
A witch hunt machine?
Jesus, Whit. You were being so naive. This isn't some fairy tale. This is about saving people here in the real world.
Walk up on your knees.
Just a dream. Nothing more.
Okay, guys, ready?
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
Stage 1. Gain interior access without causing alarm.
What are you doing?
Elves get a 20% bonus when hiding.
Behind a lamp?
Elves are skinny bastards.
Okay, my turn.
These guys have had 15 years to solve this without players. They failed.
Do you guys remember the story of the gamers that disappeared from their table 15 years ago?
Urban legend that's as fake as the steam tunnel scare.
Actually, this one's all true. And you're holding their original character sheets right now.
Rogar, former barbarian scourge of West Haven, now a convicted
felon twice over and a homeless alcoholic with an anger problem. What the hell, Megan?
I have an idea. But it's going to take all of us working together. The main controls for the university's surveillance system are housed in the server room.
Where's my feed, Magellan?
Magellan will hack into the system, which should give us access to the campus security.
Why can't I just use another spell?
Hacking, magic, just do your thing. Why'd you steal his pants?
Which games do you remember forever? The ones where your character wins some imaginary gold? Or the ones where they grew into something greater than the stats on a character sheet?
No, don't care. This warrior is better off living drunk in the city park than being controlled by the mere gamer.
You are the gamers.
Do not interfere. A bard's duty is to observe and record, to preserve history in song for the enlightenment and edification of future generations. We allow events to unfold naturally, organically, and do nothing to influence their outcome. Where are your pants?
A mystery.
Who else disputes my rule? Now, I'll civilize you yet.
No! Everywhere. No, I got rid of you.
DeLorean will come and save us.
Die, evil racers!
This epic is compromised.
No, we have it!
Let's all eat a cow!
Saw this, they're not paying me enough.
Boy, I said! Zara!
My family isn't exactly the forgive and forget type.
What do you want from me?
No. It's what you want from me. We have much to discuss.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, my favorite Wednesday of the week. Welcome to Void Jumpers, an actual play tabletop RPG where we play this game, Monster of the Week, by Michael Sands. And we love it so much. And if you don't have it, you should get it and you should play it. Because it's a wonderful character-driven RPG that lets us tell the stories that we like to tell. Speaking of actually, hold on. My stupid friends can wait. I have an announcement, very personal announcement. I got another package in the mail from Merc Worky. Christmas ornament. Whoa. Now, I wanted to put it on the show before I even talked to Merc about it, so I assume this little sucker's homemade, but I love it. I took it off my tree just to show everybody. Merc, you spoil me, god damn it, and I'm not worth it, but I do appreciate it. Okay, now let's bring my stupid friends in. Hey, everybody. What's up?
Where are we? What's happening?
We're inside the Christmas ornament.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been learning a lot about improv comedy this last week. Really trying to show you.
Yes, ending of Jesse's great offer in terms of identifying his friends.
What's up, everybody? How are you today?
So good.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
What?
things have been weird, but I'll tell you one thing that is definitely awesome are these short stories or like chapters that Merc has been writing about the Void Jumpers. They're just phenomenal, just so incredibly good in a way that is could even cut through all the quarantine doldrums. It's like I don't know if I want to people today, and then it's like, oh wow, this is really good. Oh, that's Merc. So got to give the thumbs up to Merc Worky. Yeah, just real. And for anybody who's watching, who can we make those available? Are those available for?
Well, yeah, some of them are getting tweeted. I'm gonna not answer. You guys answer.
They're on our Discord and often tweeted out as well. I'd say Discord's probably the most consistent, unless you're following Merc's Tumblr directly, which I'm only not advertising because I do not know how Tumblr works. I think you can follow Tumblrs.
I don't know.
This is getting embarrassing fast.
Yes. I think so, but I don't actually know.
We'll find out, and then I imagine we'll tell you about it when we do.
Yeah, she said
Merc
yes.
says
Can.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. I think we should. I should just change the logo. We're gonna now be henceforth the Merc Worky fan show.
Yeah.
We don't have any other non-game announcements today, so I'm just going to send it over to Mark to show us what happened last week.
Other than stay home if you can. Don't go out. Stay home. We have a vaccine coming, but shit's still really, really serious. So stay home.
We're so close, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 or 12 months.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna reach in my pocket and grab the last piece of bloody, rotting meat, and I'm gonna huck it at him.
Double up and hit old meat face that Bryn put a nice hit on, and see if we can't add insult to injury.
Hey! And the vampires, who are very distracted, trying to like fix their card after one of the dragons can take it, turn around and they look and they say, "What?" What are you doing?
Yeah, well, like in all your relationships, I'm sure there's a ton of transparency.
Take away his credit card.
So you look like you're made of farts.
Okay, listen, lady, I'm getting some weird vibes from you. I feel like maybe you're kind of into me, but also maybe...
I'm not into you. I feel oddly bonded to you.
That's the weird vibe I'm getting. You see, you say one thing and then...
It is weird. It is weird. Look, it is weird. I just want to make sure you're okay. That's it. We cool?
No, absolutely not. And the werewolf is there. And she's breathing heavy and she's completely singed. And she looks right at Rex and says, "I trusted you. And now you're gonna pay." Okay, before we get started Void Jumpers style, I got a question in chat from Aeon Mixed. Is that correct, Trin?
That is my guess as to how that name is pronounced.
Will you
Yes.
please read the question for me?
The question is, what product does Jesse use to clean his dome? That looks good.
I just use water in the shower, but I have a pretty consistent moisturizing routine in which whenever I put lotion on my face in the morning, I put it on my whole head. And every once in a while, I use a little conditioner bar in the shower when I'm trying to feel fresh.
This is not me mocking you. This is me genuinely not understanding either how conditioner works or how shaved heads work. You put conditioner bar on your shaved head?
Yes.
I thought conditioner was a hair thing.
It is, but it also treats the scalp. And so one of the things that I learned when I started shaving my head is don't just start using other stuff on your head. Continue to use products that are for hair because they are made to interact with the sensitive skin of your scalp better.
That's very good information.
And often what I've noticed is when dudes got shaved heads that look kind of funky, it's because they're not moisturizing enough. So there you go, world. Back to Void Jumpers. Okay, did anybody level up last session? Okay, cool. Bryn, you are still a vampire.
Yay!
Rex, you are still down 1 of your total HP because of your cool sucker sneakers. And I think that is it. We're about to jump into this. So, without further ado...
I really don't want to kill the werewolf.
Neither do I.
Me neither.
Okay, see?
Hey, I'm not the one who hit it with a bomb.
All right, that was an accident.
You're in the Royal Rumble, a caged wrestling ring. The crowd is chanting, "Data analyst, data analyst." You've just witnessed a large gate come crashing down to destroy a shadow ninja who looked a lot like Tag. At the other side of the ring, a werewolf points her finger at you, Rex. Her lab coat has recently been singed by a continuum bomb. She snarls, "I trusted you. Now you're gonna pay." What do you do?
No. There's a huge misunderstanding here. I'm trying my best diplomacy here to say that. No. We were aiming for the other people who were trying to kill us. I completely understand and respect that you were trying to warn us about the impending doom, and we're trying to lead us away from it.
Roll manipulate someone, which is going to be plus charisma.
That is a 7.
Okay. Your pleas seem to fall on deaf ears as the werewolf lumbers towards you. She feints to the left, throwing you off, and grabs you around the waist, flipping you upside down and then falling backwards while holding you. The two of you smash into the mat with a very loud noise, but you take 0 harm. She rolls off of you and says, "Only one team can be left standing in the ring, or this tournament can't end." She then rushes the warrior. Bryn, what do you do?
Oh God. If I probably have hit my hypnosis limit.
I hope so.
I have 2, so I'm just gonna shit. I'm gonna block Rex as the warrior with my big ass buster sword and just stand in front of her and kind of protect her.
Okay. Roll act under pressure.
Okay.
Plus dex.
The werewolf, Jesse, is running at our warrior, or what?
Everybody else is dead. The only combatants that are left in this ring are you 4 and the werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we killed ourselves real good.
Yeah. So I rolled a 7, and as I'm there, I'm just gonna be like, think about Vlad. You don't want to do this.
Yeah, so you roll in front of Rex, drop your sword in the ground, and yell this at the werewolf.
Yeah.
And she jumps around behind you, putting you in a headlock. Again, you take no harm, and she says, "You're not listening to me. Only one of our parties can be left standing, or this tournament's not gonna end." And she kicks you into the elastic ring, bouncing you off. Tag.
Okay. Tag, I think, is generally a pretty slow on the upkeep. and he's kind of looking around. He thought that the combat was finished, so he's got a sort of just like lumpy posture about him. And he saw the werewolf, I'm going to say suplex for every move, because I don't know them, so I assume that they're all suplexes. So he saw the werewolf back suplex Trin, and then shoulder suplex into the ropes. And he notices that the look on Rex's face as she got up, that there was a little, he's starting to put the puzzle together. So Tag snaps his head up and says, "All right, werewolf. I've been around town long and I've been around town far, and I've never seen the likes of you disrespect someone so bad. There's only one way to be disrespected, and it's with an escalating chain of disrespect, an arms race, if you will, getting ever more disrespectful backwards and forwards until we've reduced each other to a little shred of uncooked macaroni on the ground."
She looks at you and beats her chest and just says, "Ow!" She charges at you. Sorry.
No, please. I'll take the charge.
She charges at you, and right before she makes contact, you can see that she slows down in her step, almost giving you a window.
Sure. I swoop in to suplex her. And instead of immediately going for the move, I think that Tag is excited for the opportunity to perform. And so it becomes kind of like this improv jazz dance of the two of them grabbing and then ungrabbing and grabbing and re-grabbing. And we're just like kind of flipping each other around and suplexing and re-suplexing. And Tag connects eyes with the wizard and has her in one of these suplexes and just spins her around and around and around and tosses her right at the wizard.
Wizard. You're on mute. Dude, you're on mute!
Have I been on mute this whole time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, have you been saying stuff?
Cool. Yeah.
Did we miss some gems? Did we miss some Casey gems?
Probably not. Probably everyone was saved from my decorative commentary. Right. So instead of all of that, I think nothing works better in these wrestling situations than the art of surprise. So clearly having made eye contact with Tag and clearly having the werewolf being thrown towards me, the wizard has to turn almost as if surprised that the werewolf is coming his way and accidentally take a big old werewolf noggin right in his own head and flop backwards onto the mat, just completely knocked out.
Okay. Just roll a dex for me real quick to see how good you are at the theatrics.
Oh, wow. Well, I think, like I said, if you wanted surprise, you've come to the right place for the right stat. Well, we're off to a good start here. Okay, that is going to be, let's see, carry the 1 and divide 5.
Okay. Mark down your experience. You get so into the role of surprise that when you spin back around and the werewolf smashes into your face, neither of you were expecting that. And you do accidentally catch a real headbutt, dealing 1 harm, physical only, which flips you back over the ropes. And you flop down outside the ring. The cage has been kind of ripped apart, allowing this in this one space, because when she tore the gate off, it took some of the cage with her. And you can see that it's not exactly military grade and more of a Potemkin cage here.
Can I make a plea for a dexterity save for the following effect? Of instead of tumbling over the ropes, I end up getting twisted up in the rope, so the arms are totally like locked in. So it's like the wizard's Totally helpless.
You failed, so you can definitely just get tangled up in the ropes
All
and
right.
have to accommodate that in your next move.
Okay.
Rex, it is you.
And I turn to this werewolf, and with a voice full of conviction, I say, "You fell beast from hell! How dare you wound our wizard!"
You could hear all of the werewolves in the crowd just go fucking loony when you say that. Just like, she hates us, get her, she's just like everybody hates that you're calling the werewolf out for being a werewolf. Some of the vampires get riled up too.
I'm not meaning to cast aspersions on your kind, just you specifically, you fell beast from hell.
A couple of them settle down, but it doesn't really matter.
And I'm gonna try and do my what have I been calling it? Where I fling my shield. Oh, but I want to try and boomerang it so that it actually comes back at me.
Bounces it off of her and back at you? Okay, roll it.
Well, I'm not actually, this is another instance of like trying to make it look like I'm trying to hit her, but like throwing, like making an exaggerated enough gesture that she can hopefully see that it's coming at her.
Mm-hmm.
What should I add to that?
This one's going to be dex for the toss. If you were hitting with the shield, it would be strength.
That's a 5.
Okay. You throw the shield. The werewolf whirls around and catches it in her teeth.
Oh, no.
She then takes it out of her mouth and holds it over her head and says, "I'll show you what a foul beast from hell looks like." And it is now the warrior's turn. Bryn, you've just bounced off the ropes and come back towards the center of the ring. You can see the werewolf holding the shield above her head.
I'm now understanding a little better of what's going on. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to run to the corner of the ring and jump up on the ropes and flip in the air with my fangs bared. Like I'm going to come down on the wolf and bite the crap out of it. But
okay.
I'm going to make it look like that, but not actually pierce the skin.
Okay, we're going to do plus dex then, so you're not going to be dealing any harm. This will just be for the maneuver, not the attack.
Okay.
You got +3 straight across the board, so...
6.
Oh.
Wow.
You spring off of the turnstile and fly through the air and smash down into the shield that she's holding up, which crashes down on her head, and the two of you go down. When you stand up, she is unconscious.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And then very quickly, you see that her form begins to shrink. And very soon, there is no longer a werewolf laying in the middle of the ring unconscious, but a meek little data analyst lady.
Oh, no.
And you can hear a loud gong go off and some fireworks explode in the sky, all of them neon green, Blight style. And you hear, "Winners! Void Jumpers!" And the crowd goes wild, except for a small section of werewolves who are still actively booing your whole team now because of the cleric's choice for. Slocked is up there in our VIP box. She looks dismayed. This is the memory Slockton, not the ghost. And she gestures down where you can see that the trophy for the Royal Rumble has been carried on kind of like a stretcher. It is very large and brought down to the side of the ring. Danny DeVito cruises out and is clapping his hands. He actually is carrying 2 gigantic, like leather pillowcases over his shoulders that look extremely heavy. And he's just kind of like trying to clap while he's holding them. And he comes and meets you at the side of the ring. And, like a lot of people are kind of rushing the center. There's a lot of chaos going on right now. The orchestra kicks back up and there's some more fireworks. And Slokta has turned and is being escorted away. But everyone's chanting Void Jumpers. And Danny DeVito is waiting for you next to the torn off gate.
I'll walk over.
He says, all right, yeah, so, yeah, okay, and slumps down these 2 bags onto the ring. They crash so loud that the ring actually tilts a little bit. And he says, okay, so, yeah. Will you tell us what this is, Sam?
Yeah, so at the previous encounter, they were offering betting odds. Danny DeVito was certain we weren't going to win at all. He thought we had like a 0 chance. And Bryn had this great idea of placing a wager on ourselves. And of course,
that was tag.
Was that tag?
That's definitely tag.
Oh, yeah. Tag.
The job of the parallel is to defer all wisdom and good ideas to his charge. So that was, in fact, by parallel law, Bryn.
And Sam decided that since the only way out was either winning or death, we may as well put all of our money on it, and talked Danny DeVito into giving us 50-1 odds. So we were able to transform our, I think it was 18 gold into 1,377 gold, which will likely allow us to buy out Slokta's store and maybe get some secret items. So this is a winning horse that has really come in, and we're loaded.
I feel like we're rapidly going to learn the meaning of the word inflation when we try and buy things now.
So Slokta's ghost has not reappeared, but there is the trophy sitting right in front of you. Danny DeVito says, yeah, these are your winnings. I didn't think, well, shit, I still ended up betting against you, so it sucks to be me.
Yeah, it does.
But
I tossed
here you
him
go.
5 gold.
He takes it and he says, wow, this is truly a remarkable gesture. Here I stand at the foot of a mountain of gold, and I walk away with a pebble. Wow. Wow.
Hey, be grateful. She's a generous cleric.
Okay. And he says, all right, guys, look, here's hoping that I never see you again. All right. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go spend this 5 gold immediately, because it's going to get me maybe a Wiener Schnitzel and a beer, and I need both. Good luck. Here's your trophy. And you can see that Slokta's got this kind of imperial guard of skeletons in cool armor that are standing around. They've just carried the trophy down, and it is there for you. It is quite obviously the special item. It glows in a way nothing else in this world has, and this memory has. The one that you can imagine Slokta is waiting for. What do you do?
Well, I think
grab it.
Touch, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gold and grab the trophy.
As soon as you touch it, the ground falls away from you, and you are lifted up into the sky. Not to worry, your gold is coming with you, as is anything else that you got. You see a change in the landscape that happens magically, and when the ground rushes back up to meet you, you find yourself standing in the cathedral beneath Blight Manor. Slokta's ghost is there, waiting for you. Well, excellent work. You even managed to fight yourselves and win.
Yeah, that was a weird little touch, Slokta.
I could tell that you wanted it so badly. I didn't want to rob you. All I had to do was reskin a couple of my minions.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that solves the time paradox.
Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought that I might have accidentally set one of those in motion. Hope there's no consequences.
Do you think there might be consequences?
What would I know? I'm just an immortal necromancer's ghost.
I feel like you would know a lot.
Yeah, it seems like an immortal necromancer's ghost might have more information.
No, I'm sure that there won't be a time paradox because those weren't actually you. They were just the reskinned minions that I threw into a memory of my own. If that had been on the real plane of existence with actual other versions of you, who knows where they would have come from, then perhaps we'd have to worry about a time paradox. But even then, chances are slim. Time paradoxes are hard to come by. I've tried.
Slokta, not to, get into a semantic inquiry with you, but there she goes.
Sorry, my dog was being an asshole.
Oh. You said you were immortal, but you're also a ghost. That seems to be contradictory, and I was just curious which one it was. I mean, you could be like a long-term ghost, but the immortal.
The difference is the physical bodies which you inhabit are easy to replicate. As you've seen, I've created them in one fashion or another to populate my own memories. There are golems who live eternally. The body of a spriggan does not decay, this you know. But the essence of oneself, the mind, the memories, the power, the legacy of consciousness, this is difficult to preserve because the longer one stretches their existence, the less likely they will remain sane. Only certain brains are built to handle infinity. Spriggans, some species, are one of them. There are a few other creatures found in the darker reaches of this planet and others I've heard. But humans, for the most part, even summoners, are not meant to be eternal. That I have preserved. That is the difficult part. Making another body would be convenient on occasion, I suppose, but this form suits me well for now.
I want to talk to you about Capio.
Okay. I can give you some more information, but you know the cost. It'll take the trophy.
Is this all a game for you, Slokta? You have been dead for a long time, but surely you've got some skin in the game. You were, after all, responsible for the Blight Planet in some way. Surely that hasn't all faded. I can't imagine that what Capio is doing is good for your home.
Yes, I suppose that I am not aligned with Capio's intentions, but he is the summoner of the Blight Planet. If some other asshole showed up while I was ruling and told me they didn't like what I was doing, I would have skinned them alive and then eaten their skin. Necromancer, what's up? Anyways, Capio rules this planet now, and I'm a ghost. It doesn't matter what he does.
Okay, that seems nihilistic even for an undead necromancer.
I tell you this, Parallel. Capio is not the first summoner I've sat idly by and watched. There were others before him, many. I am timeless. I am as old as this planet. Probably. Anyway, I've tried to interfere in the lives of summoners, but the Blight Planet is a twisted place. They're not all pretty little vampires like the Fire World, okay? Or freaky deaky water genies like the Water Planet or whatever the fuck is going on over there. The Blight Planet sucks. We got it tough and nobody's coming to help us. So whatever we do it to survive. And
so
have...
It's a game, it's entertainment. I mean, you put Caprio through these trials in order to enable him to do something deeply unnatural. And that's fine, but I believe that...
Of course I'm lonely. I cannot even feel the touch of another while in this form. I'm air. Do you know what being air feels like? It's horrible.
Kind of.
Going forward, what can we do? See, if we get out of this and defeat Capio, what can I do to help your planet?
I believe that the reason Capio was able to complete my tests had little to do with his power, but everything to do with his ambition. Every move that Capio makes is in defiance of the status quo of the continuum system. I believe that Capio is already seeing to the safety of this planet, in spite of any and all who would look down on us or work against that agenda. Any who look down on us or work against that agenda on this plane or any other. Which is why I had no qualms with Capio. Sure, he broke a few eggs, but the omelet, I am sure, will be delicious. So I would
Why
tell
are
you
you
this,
helping
Summer.
us, knowing that we're setting out to stop him?
Honestly, I don't think you'll succeed. And if you do pass my tests, by the time you reach Capio, he will probably be too powerful for you to do anything about. So, I'm just rolling the dice.
Okay. We have some tricks up our sleeves.
I'm sure that you do, Fire Summoner. Now, my trophy, please. I've given you enough information for free.
All right.
As Bryn hands over the trophy, I want to take a quick out-of-game second. I was kind of hoping to do this in narrative just there. It didn't quite work out. I'm more looking for just like a little catch-up corner on what the fuck we know about what Capio's doing. We've been in trials long enough that me, Connor, as a player, have just a little bit lost sight of what we know about him and his plan and what our goals are in pursuing him.
Sure. So once you relent, the trophy is swept away and deposited somewhere in a secret compartment in the ghost market. Catch-up corner-wise, your original conversations with Capio were at a dinner. He is kind of a curmudgeon, and he did complain much about the status quo of the continuum and how that the Blight planet, because it offers very little to the company, receives very little aid, and no other planets are interested in helping them. He also has been referred to as the laughingstock of the Summoner Council. And so the way he spoke when you were talking about what could potentially be the rift or the malice on this planet was that Capio inferred that he was not afraid of that malice and that its ability to drain magic was very similar to the way that the Blight planet operates. But whereas the Blight planet drains magic and it just goes away because that is how it balances Bloom. Bloom is ever growing, Blight is ever draining. The malice is able to drain energy and contain it, which is what you've seen them do. They fill up batteries with it and they use it for their machines. Capio inferred that perhaps he no longer needed to fear anyone because he was able to help his planet in a way that maybe the other planets couldn't in the face of the malice, that maybe the malice was not as effective against the Blight magic as it has been elsewhere. So that's a lot to say, that it seems like whatever Capio's doing, like you've been to other planets where people have been possessed by this stuff or they've been working for Half-Dad. Capio did not seem to give one fuck about the malice or their agenda. There was no fear, and he seemed to kind of have something going for him. So if he was doing something to cheat death and become more powerful and escape to whatever is in the pit in front of you, it would have something possibly to do with the agenda of upsetting the status quo by using whatever means necessary.
So, isn't there a thing about like energy can never go away, it just transforms into something else? So it must be going. Sorry, these fucking teeth. It must be going. I can't. It must be going somewhere. You get what I mean?
Yeah. That is a safe assumption.
Okay.
And our vested interest in pursuing him is what? What indication have we got that he's trying to do something beyond improving the sort of financial prospects, the GDP of Blood Planet, essentially?
That's up to you. It seems like your guys' usual baseline mission is go to planet, close rift, drop barrier. You usually get wrapped up in whatever's going on in the planet at the same time,
right.
But
there is no rift here because KPO is just doing something else.
No, there probably is.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay. And is what he's doing hurting the inhabitants of this planet?
You've seen how the Blight Summoners rock and roll through several of Slokta's memories.
Yeah.
And you walked through a town in which the Blight Summoner lived happily in a haunted mansion after turning several of his peeps into zombie thralls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a bit of a culture shock here because this is the Blight Planet, but
okay,
that's up to you guys.
Okay.
Cool.
Someone just handed me a plate of warm pasta, so I'm gonna eat it on stream. Sorry, guys.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so you've given Slokta the trophy. You can ask one question that she will answer honestly. She's already given you a lot of information, but that could perhaps point you in the direction. Do you want to know more about what Slokta is doing? Or do you want to know more about the last company clue that you got was a clipboard that mentioned KPO potentially being like a test subject and there being a lab here on the planet? This is not a requirement.
Oh,
it's
I
just
forgot about that.
Yeah, if you'd like to have any more information, you can trade this trophy to Slokta for one question that she will answer honestly. After Catch-Up Corner, is there anything else that you'd like to know more about?
I feel like I've mired us in quite a bit of exposition. I'd be very happy to rain check our question and get right to the good stuff.
Cool. Slokta takes the trophy.
But if chat has a question, I think it doesn't have to be right now, but we can log that and we can find the time. We're gonna reserve our trophy question token trade-in for whatever chat wants to know from Slokta.
Okay. Once the trophy passes out of your hands and is locked away safely, Slokta's standing there expectantly, almost as if waiting for you to ask this question that you are getting a rain check for. But there is a disturbance in the ground beneath your feet. You can't be sure, but it feels as though it's coming from somewhere down in the pit. Now remember that there is a pit in this room where the portals have been forming over, but the last that you saw KPO, he descended down into this pit.
Right.
Before you've had enough time to question it, however, there is an explosion which ripples up out of the pit, and it seems to be comprised of what you can now identify as chaos magic. When magic starts breaking and doing weird stuff, it looks like this. It's like a swarm of off-color energies ricocheting off of each other, and this just billows out of the pit. The very earth shakes. Columns in this cathedral around you collapse, bringing down parts of the roof, and the whole place shakes. When the dust settles, something very strange happens. Your communicators start to ring.
What?
Slokta says, "What on Blight is that noise?"
I'm gonna pull mine out.
Yeah, you pull it out, little Star Trek communicator, and you hear a blast of static, which is pretty crazy because you know once the barriers are up around these planets, nothing gets in or out except the Void Jumper. No communication, no ships, nothing. But after the static, which kind of permeates through the rest of these conversations, you hear Captain Matt Vansel, and he says, "Wow, I didn't expect to get through to you. Is everything okay down there?"
I mean, we're kind of in the middle of this really crazy trial and competition thing. We're okay for right now.
Totally different looking bodies and abilities.
Wild. That sounds
we just
pretty
killed
rad.
ourselves too.
Yeah.
Look,
But so far we're okay.
yeah, this is crazy what you're telling me. I'm not familiar with the way that you fix planets. Is this normal?
Nope.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
This.
yeah,
how's
whatever.
the ship?
Ship's great. We actually just had another rendezvous with CNAC 88 talking about La Resistance, if you can believe it. A couple more details.
Click.
I'll fill you in later. Look, the reason I'm calling is because the barrier
Also,
around
you said rendezvous really sexy. Are you hitting on CNAC 88?
I hadn't considered telling you guys that. You know what? I like to keep my captainhood and my personhood separate. So any and all of those plot lines will need to be addressed in the interlude between this planet and the next one.
He really enjoys vintage motor oils.
Excellent. You can hear a scribble as he jots that down. Look, I don't know how I'm talking to you, other than the barrier around the planet is weakening. It's just enough for us to get a line down to you. We don't think we could cross through ourselves, but we're not sure how long it's going to hold. There's another burst of static, kind of like drive that point home.
Captain?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. We've been monitoring the barrier. It's been fluctuating a lot since you got down there, but nothing this powerful. It looks like something is draining its energy, and we haven't seen anything like this on any of the other planets that you've been down on. They've been full power and then off. There's been no in-between.
Well, it's not coming from us. We haven't gotten close to the source of the rift or the barrier yet.
Okay. That's
No.
interesting. Look, Bryn.
Yeah.
About the time the barrier weakened, we got a call. Your mother's on the line. Do you think I could patch you through? She's rather insistent.
Right now?
Yeah.
Can you make it audio only?
I have been told by the summoner of the fire planet to put you through on video.
Okay.
Okay, look, I'm going to patch you through now. I don't know how long this line's going to stay open, so good luck down there.
Okay.
He clicks
Bryn,
out.
Your mother loves you. Your mother will always love you.
You don't know
This
that.
I do know that. That's how mothers work.
Just keep your hand over your mouth.
Okay, I'll tell her I have a cold sore or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Or really chapped lips.
So the screen goes out. Vansel's gone. There's just a second. It says call connecting, and then bloop, popping up on your communicator is Summoner Amelia, your mother. And she is got her little glasses on, her reading glasses, and she has her nose buried in a big book.
Hi, Mom.
Bryn!
Hi.
Bryn! Is everything okay?
No, yeah. I
What's
don't know.
wrong?
Things are weird down here. I don't like it.
Get your hand away from your face while you're speaking to me. How
Sorry.
bad manners. You're a summoner. Bryn, I just felt a crazy disturbance in the magic of the fire planet. I feel like my powers are lessening. It's very minor, but I have never really felt anything like it except when that rift was open on this planet. Are you okay?
Your powers are lessening?
A little bit. What is wrong with you? Is everything okay?
No, I have vampire
Oh my gosh!
Mom, it sucks. And I ate Danny DeVito's calf.
Oh, Bryn, please don't tell me that you created a thrall. Are you creating thralls? Are you a vampirist lord, lady?
No, there was like a vampire that popped out at the beginning of this mission, and I tried to like distract it so it didn't eat my friends, and then it bit me, and now I'm stuck cursed as a vampire, and if I don't get any blood really soon, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's a nightmare. And I can't talk properly.
Truly, the least of your worries. Bryn. Look, I didn't feel the need to warn you about vampires. Their population's been relatively small on that planet for hundreds of years.
Yeah, we ran into a couple more. One of them had a love affair with a werewolf. Shit's weird down
Werewolf?
here. Yeah, we saw a werewolf too, and skeleton unicorns, and those zappy crocodile things. I can't remember what they're called. A whole bunch of stuff. It's weird. KPO has gone off the rails, completely off the rails. He is draining all the power from the planet. I don't know where it's going. And he's made things better, and then he's hiding in some dungeon pit thing, and he's making us do all these 10 trials to try to gain immortality to beat him. I don't know what to do. I mean, we're just going with it. We did some WWE style wrestling.
Bryn,
yeah,
you've just told me a lot of different stuff, most of which is pretty wild. So I'm going to need time to digest most of it.
Okay.
If there are cursed creatures, multiple of them, something is definitely happening, and KPO must be behind it. There are very few on Blight who can use magic. Summoners are usually, their families are usually small because it doesn't matter. Look, what's important is, if KPO is draining the power from the planet, he might be under the influence of that force, the one that took over my parallel. Could KPO be under the influence of this malice?
I don't think so. From what I understand, KPO blocked the malice. And the malice is really upset about it.
Well, whatever he's doing is affecting magic on a very large scale. If we're feeling it here on this planet, he might have tapped into a primary vein of the way that the continuum spreads energy throughout the system.
Right.
Now tell me, these trials? KPO is running these trials?
No, Slokta, the ghost of Slokta, some Blight summoner, is in charge of it, and she's making us go into her memories and do these things and get these like talismans or memory pieces from it. I don't know, there's 10 of them. I think we've done 5.
You said that the heir of Slokta is running these trials?
Yeah. She's weird.
And she's alive. I thought the line split. KPO's not from Slokta's line.
What?
If there's other children of Slokta, if she has a living relative.
You mean the true heir could still be alive?
Well, that depends. How many of you... Where are you, Bryn?
We're in the basement of Blight Manor.
Sorry, outside of character.
Huh?
Where are you taking this call?
I don't fucking know. I want to get rid of the vampires, and I can't use magic anymore.
Have you walked away to get privacy, or are you kind of just...
I thought you meant where was I going with my speech.
No.
I am I think I'm just pacing over in the corner.
Okay. Okay. So your mother looks at you and says, there's 2 summoners on the planet?
Well, there's a dead ghost summoner, and then there's KPO, the physically alive summoner.
A ghost summoner? You don't mean an heir of Slokta? You mean the ghost of Slokta?
Yes, and she is losing it.
Slokta the Insidious?
That fits.
Bryn, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you think Slokta is doing, you must be very careful. Slokta ruled Blight. Well, I've only read about this. We've only read about this. This is taught to everyone in your line as an example of what not to do to your people. Slokta entangled herself with dark magic and was able to keep the planet ship of Blight underneath her power for centuries. She terrorized that planet.
Really?
Whatever is going on that planet ultimately is decisions she made hundreds of years ago that were so devastating they've never been able to turn it back around. Slokta the Insidious is a famous necromancer, one of the most powerful summoners ever. She was defeated a long time ago by the other 4 members of the council combined, 3 of whom died trying. Whatever this ghost is doing, you must not trust it, Bryn.
Okay. but what? Apparently we have to go through her to get to Capia, so...
Okay. That sucks.
Yup.
Look, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but being a vampire is pretty bad, Bryn, and very unbecoming, especially for someone of our standing. And so I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you dealt with it rather quickly. And if Slokta is making you gather magical trinkets, I'm sure any number of them would be powerful enough to fuel a ritual to reverse your spell.
Anyone. I don't have magic anymore, so I have to refer to Rex, our cleric, or Sam, our wizard. Sam says hi, by the way.
Oh, tell him I said hello.
I will.
There's a bit more static, and you can tell that the connection is starting to lessen, and the ground is actually starting to shake, and you can see flares down at the bottom of what is a very deep pit as more of this chaos magic starts to ricochet around down there. She says, Bryn, I've seen what you can do. You've freed planets. I cannot tell you how to do the day-to-day work of an adventuring summoner who's saving places, okay? That's something you're going to have to figure out on your own. But you cannot trust Slokta.
Okay.
I wish you... And then there's static.
Mom?
And she's gone.
Mom?
Vansel does not pop back on. The communicator actually just goes dead, much like you've seen it when the barriers are up. And there is another explosion at the bottom of the pit. Chaos magic rumbles out. A few more pieces of the ceiling fall down. And then you feel a wash of energy pass through you and head back up towards what would be the sky.
Am I still holding the trophy?
No, you've returned the trophy to Slokta.
Okay. Can we have a powwow, just the 4 of us?
And you're speaking to me?
No, I would like to talk to my human friends, thanks.
Wow. Human ghost, but cool. Slokta fades away and kind of genie lamps into her ghost market.
Okay, so I talked to my mom, and she said a couple things. One of these artifacts that we're getting for Slokta could be powerful enough to reverse my vampirism. I don't know why I don't know why I didn't think of that. And 2, she said that Slokta did some really dark, horrible magic and ruled for centuries. And she's, what was she called? The Insidious?
Yeah.
Slokta the Insidious? Slokta the Insidious? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Slokta the Insidious. And she is not to be trusted.
Well, that puts us in a bit of a pickle. It seems like we have to rely on her to get to Capio, unless do we want to?
Unless that's a lie too.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So Capio went in the pit. We went after him in the pit, and then we got thrown into these tests. Is there any other way to get to him other than this pit?
You don't know for sure. The way that Slokta described it is that the pit is a physical place, but he has used it to cross into like a protected pocket.
Oh, okay.
And so she's going to use the items you have as part of a ritual to open the portal to allow you to get to Slokta. Or sorry, Capio. He's kind of pocket dimension-y right now.
Okay. Well, I definitely would like to get my hands on another one of her valuable memory pieces.
Yeah, where did they go when we give them to her?
I don't know, and she never really told us why she wants them either.
Horcruxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tag takes a poke around the market stall to see if he sees anything.
There is all of the wares there. They're kind of bound to the place as though they're like been super glued down, but it's magical super glue, so you can't pocket any of the usual shit. Mm-hmm. There are a couple places that you can tell are locked and cursed. You know, like necromancer hidden slots. You're able to identify them easily enough. You are welcome to try and break into them, but they crackle with nasty stuff.
So do we do another trial to try and get one of the items?
Well, it looks like we've got a couple paths. We have we want to help out Bryn. It looks like whatever Capio's doing could be not only draining this planet, but starting to drain some of the others as well. Your mother talked about how shaky it was on the fire planet, and
yeah,
I've been doing this long enough to assume that coincidences aren't really a thing.
Right. I mean, and now it's affecting more than just this planet, so I have faith in us getting through these trials.
I do too.
Just to what end, you know, what happens when we finish.
Well, if we trust Slokta, it's to open a gateway. But I guess now that I think of it, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, it's also convoluted that if she has the power that she does, why would we need to retrieve these things in order to enable her to do a ritual? It seems more that we're just jumping through hoops for her satisfaction. I don't imagine that these 10 relics are power ritual, or if she herself retrieve them from her memory, I imagine pretty immediately and instantaneously.
Say that one more time, Tag. You cut out just a little bit, and I feel like it was
a robot.
A revelatory statement you were making.
Just that, I don't know where you lost me, but just that if Slokta wanted, she could snap her fingers and retrieve these items from her memory if they were.
Can't for some reason.
Right.
But why could? Yeah, it seems like a arbitrary delineation of her powers that I can't quite justify.
She became immortal, it sounds like, by using dark magic. We are trying to attain immortality to fight Capio by retrieving dark magic.
My what I understood was that we're completing these trials essentially to unlock the door to get to Capio, and the door perhaps is immortality.
Right.
I'll be honest, I've had a hard time following the thread of the trials, Capio, immortality, pit connection.
There was also talk that you completing this is the way to cheat death. It is a bonus of opening this portal to get to Capio.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't actually want to cheat death.
Slokta pops up from the ghost market and says, "It'll be optional. and pops back down.
Slakta!
Yes?
Yeah, you're clearly listening to everything that we say.
I only heard that last part. I was just coming up to the surface to hear if you were almost done.
Do you have a spell that can reverse his vampirism?
Do I?
Yep, for sale. We have lots of money.
Oh! I believe your cleric has one on standby.
Do you have
But
something that
you'll
can
need
boost it?
Do I personally? No, but you probably might find something in another one of my trials. You see, you've already given me all of the items, and I'm not just going to hand them back. What if this spell saps some of their power? They'd be useless to me. And I've already traded.
And you can just grab them from the trials again. These are the same items that Capio grabbed, what, a couple days ago, a week ago?
If you're willing to go back and get them for me, I'd be happy.
Remind us again. Just humor us a little bit, Slakta. Sometimes we're a little slow. What are you using them for again?
I'll be using them to open the portal to get you to Capio and grant you the ability to cheat death. Win-win.
And you need all 10.
I need most of them. Some are more important than others. Some are more powerful than others. Depending on how the scale tips, I'll be able to make up for some with others. Right now, that shouldn't be a concern of yours because you've gotten every single one. We haven't had to address the issue.
Yeah, but we are having a bit of a time crunch. I think you noticed, Slakta, the fireworks coming out of the pit, the rumbling of this castle.
Pretty freaky. I wonder what he's up to down there.
Freaky deaky, as you would say, Slakta.
Freaky deaky.
Yep.
It's our favorite of your sayings. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful. Put it on a t-shirt.
All right, let's do the next trial.
Oh, we doing this? Okay. First things first. In between mission, shopping spree. And you might want to heal yourselves because I don't want to be rude, but you look like garbage.
All right, we'll take 4 healing potions.
Done. When you pull out the huge sack of gold to pay her, her jaw, as a ghost, very cartoonily drops down and hits the ground. And then she, gathers it back up and says, "Good gracious, where did you get all that gold?"
That is not your concern. What is your concern is all the finances you're about to receive for your goods and services.
Huzzah, sir! 4 more healing potions coming at you.
One for everyone.
So those will heal you too. No problems there. That will be 20 gold.
You got it. Here you go.
Anything else you'd like from my shop?
Yeah, do you have anything in the back? You have any goodies? Real nice top of the shelf,
Well, I did show you those items that you could purchase for health points, but that's only because you didn't have the scratch. I do have a couple other items available for purchase if you have the gold. She smashes her fist on the top of the counter, and a roll unrolls behind her, and you can see a diagram of multiple different items. Some of them look like blueprints. Some of them look like magazine pictures that have been cut out and taped up there. There's a bunch of different stuff going on. So, what are you in the market for? Just give me the gist of the type of item that you'd like, and I can tell you what I got to accomplish it.
Oh, like a gem that lets us see what's real, whether people are, telling us the truth, that sort of thing.
Sure. I can get you a lens of sight for 400 gold. It will have 3 charges. You can use it to see any hidden items, hear any truths, or see anyone's intention. You use 1 charge to do any of those 3 things.
Great. You want to do like a little package deal? Maybe we buy a couple of things. You give us frequent buyer's card or something like that. Slakta's,
At least a punch card. I love a punch card.
I want to raise an objection here. Guys, Slakta, she's still there, but this is like out of immediate earjob.
She's not spying on you. When stuff is going to be spying on you and hearing your like character decision making, I'll try and chew the scenery a little bit so you know. She didn't hear any of your previous conversation, and she's not eavesdropping now. She seems kind of aloof.
Slachta sucks. All right? Slachta fucking sucks. She tortured a planet for hundreds of years. She set in motion an entire global economic reality from which these people have yet to break out, and now she is spending her afterlife in petty vending? I just don't know about continuing to fill her coffers when we have the opportunity to, like, yeah, we've known how to break these rifts and change planets from an adventuring sense, but now we've got the funds to maybe change this planet in another way, redistribute this wealth. Shit was fucked out there. People are still hurting from an economic system that she has enslaved them in since I don't know how long. I think that
noble.
Yeah,
That's a very noble thing.
I'm not telling us to not spend some money. I just want to, like, and now I am really being secretive, like, I want us to fucking steal it back or some shit. I don't have any moral qualms about this. Like, let's fleece this lady.
Tag, did you hear the description of the item that I just inquired about?
Yeah? Maybe I'm dim. What? No.
So the item I just inquired about buying would allow us to magically know Slachta's intention.
Right? Yeah, no, I'm cool. Just like before, I'm just saying, like, before we buy out her whole shop, I just want to say she sucks. And we should have a plan to steal it back. I don't want her coming out on top. That's all.
Do you have anything that can get this cursed blade out of my hand?
Oh, yeah. Here's what I'll do.
How are you covering your mouth?
Here's what I'll do for you, my favorite little group of consumers. You throw in that curse blade, which I will relieve your warrior of. I will give you 4 of my top items. Out of game, the way that the top items will be decided is Slachta is a very powerful entity, and you have a fuckload of gold. I want to honor that without us having to, like, have you spend it 5 gold at a time to buy 1,000 health potions. So you can choose, much like the Lens of Truth. You tell me something that you want to be able to accomplish. I will give you an item that does it. It will have a limited amount of charges. In exchange for all of your gold, you have 1,300, you said?
We have 1,357 remaining.
Okay, so for 1,300 gold and the cursed blade, Slachta will give you 4 of these items. The Lens of Sight can be one of them.
Well, the dagger seems like it is at least worthy of, like, I think 1,200 of the dagger seems like the appropriate level here.
You drive a hard bargain, you wizard bastard, and that's why I like you. 1,200 in the dagger it is. So the other thing is all items will require a roll. There will always be some amount of success to them, so you will not get screwed out of your charges. You spend a charge, roll the dice, but the success of the roll will be determined, or like the information you glean or the thing it does will be determined by the roll. So full success, no problem. Failure, you get what you want with some side effects, So the Lens of Sight. Anything else you want to be able to accomplish? I can tell you in this next trial, you might be interested in either being very sneaky or being very brash.
Slachta, you got like a workbench back there?
I do. Check this out. I got a pocket dimension in the ghost market, so whenever I genie bottle in, I'm living large, baby. Penthouse suite.
I take out the big kind of blunderbuss rifle that I grabbed from the pirate captain. So it seems like this thing sucks in matter.
Mm-hmm.
and then discharges it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tinker around with it so that I can kind of. Slocta, I'm going to assume you're familiar with the Harry Potter franchise.
Absolutely.
Accio broomstick kind of thing that I can be discriminate and selective about what I'm pulling in. And I don't want it to just be this vacuum that sucks in everything I point at. That could be very dangerous. I might hurt my friends.
Sure. I'll enchant the gun. So it'll do exactly what you just said. And it will have 3 charges of use. And that can count as one of your items.
Okay, and we're spending $400, 400 gold coins to get 3 charges out of a blunderbuss. I expect you to have instilled this with the kind of magic that, you're limiting me in 3 uses.
Sorry, allow me to elaborate. While most of these other items that I will be creating for you will disintegrate upon the use of their final charge, the blunderbuss will remain intact, and you will be able to recharge it using spell crystals.
Sure, I just want, look, Slocta, you probably sent this about me. I was a magic user until I came to this planet. I'm a mechanical man. I'm a pointy things man, and so I lost my ability to really taste the fine wine of the supernatural. I just want to make sure what you're giving me here isn't just a gun. I'm not looking to shoot. If I wanted to shoot something, I just use the bow and arrow. I really want this to be able to respond to that intuition. These filters, these lenses you're installing, I want the magic there.
Yeah, you're familiar with the Doom franchise, yes?
The game or the movie stuff?
The game.
Yes, of course.
Oh, Doom with an M.
Yes.
I thought you meant like Jorodowski's Dune.
No.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, consider that a
you
BFG.
And I played it a Christmas ago.
We did. Consider that a BFG tag. It's worth the money.
Oh, that's pretty nice. So anything he points it at.
Yes, it will drain its essence. It'll be different than what you guys witnessed the professor do. Mechanically speaking, it will just temporarily absorb all of an essence and then be able to fire it out and amplify it with this Slocta mod, dealing large amounts of damage. Or if you're using it in a more narrative capacity, it will have far more functionality because of your intention grabbing thing. You will be able to identify what exactly you are getting, and it will work.
Okay. Sounds good.
Again, if I'm going to be giving you guys like broken or cursed or weird items, you'll know. When you're spending 400 gold on a gun, you're going to get what you pay for.
Okay.
So we got the lens of sight. We got the blunderbuss. You get 2 more, suckers.
Does that word not have a T at the end?
What did you say?
That word doesn't have a T at the end. It's blunderbuss.
Yes.
Man, I've been calling that shit blunderbust forever.
Sexual. Now, how about the other 2, huh? You each get to choose an item. What type of thing would you like to be able to do?
Well, I'm already a pretty large warrior, so brash is not going to be a problem. So maybe I would like something that makes me blend in.
I can give you a chameleon cloak.
Okay.
You can use it in narrative situations by burning a charge to blend into whatever crowd you are a part of.
Okay.
You're telling us, Slocta, that for all of these magical items you are able to create that do whatever we want them to do, you are not able to supply something that could help Bryn with her vampirism?
I'm not creating these. I said that earlier on accident, okay? I've got a lot of nasty stuff in this cart. Often, when adventurers make it this far into my trials, they have lots of gold. I didn't expect you to. That betting thing was a nasty trick, and Danny DeVito will pay. But I honor the gold.
Don't take it out on Danny DeVito. He's
Too
already
late.
been through enough.
What do you mean too late? What do you mean too late?
Yeah, his cap is a vampire now.
No, I healed it.
What was that, Slocta?
What would you like?
I don't know.
Hey, Rex, maybe you could enchant your shield so that it sucks up attacks or magic, and then you can redirect it back at the people who stuck at you.
I can do that for you. It will be 3 charges, similar to the blunderbuss.
Rubber, your glue?
Exactly. The most literal version of it. So it'll work the same way that the blunderbuss does with kinetic energy. You can absorb physical attacks with it or magical and send them back at the caster or attacker. You'll have 3 charges. When they deplete, your shield will remain the same without the ability. You can recharge it using spell crystals. Capiche?
Capiche.
All right, fools, write down what you just got, because I'm not going to, and track your charges. The chameleon cloak and the lens of sight will definitely burn up after you use a charge.
Great. Once I have the lens, I turn it on Slocta.
Would you like her to see you doing that, or would you like to do it secretly?
Oh, I get like the straight analytics. Like I don't even have to inquire. I can just see the true intention. Great. I will wait.
Yeah, you'll just have to if you're looking to just find out a secret about Slocta, and I will make it, you're burning a charge on a 3 charge total item, I'll make it worth your while. As long as you're not like, what's up, Slocta? If you wait until she turns around to open the portal to the next trial, I'll give you a free pass.
All right, I will do that.
Is everybody going to heal up?
Yeah.
Everybody good? Okay.
I think I'm full health. You guys remember I was on my phone last time, so my note taking was terrible. But I think that I'm good.
You were a little singed up. The cleric healed you, and you also got your 2 HP back when you blew off the continuum grenade. So I think you're okay, especially if everybody took a health potion at the top of the scene. Okay. Slocta turns, and the wizard burns a charge to see her. That's going to be a lore roll, wizard.
All right.
Let's see how much information you get.
It's not a very good roll right there.
No.
Can I use my staff to overcharge the lens?
You will not be able to overcharge this. Here's how it will work. You are going to tell me your result, and then I will give you information. You can then roll Investigate a Mystery while looking through the lens to ask whatever questions you get.
I rolled an 8 with my +3 lore.
Okay. What you see is actually kind of startling. Slocta's been presenting herself as this kind of like teal ghost in cool robes. When you look through the lens at her, she is a sickly neon green, like that of the blight magic on this world. Her hair is a writhing mane of poisonous snakes. She has 4 arms. She is very, very, very thin, like malnourished thin, and skeletal. Her bones seem to be kind of thorny, and she's wearing the tatters of robes. But that's not all you see. You also see 3 other ghosts. They are in a horizontal floating ring around her. One of them is red, one of them is blue, and one of them is purple. They all seem to be sleeping and anchored around where her ankles would be if it wasn't just a wisp of cloth. They make no movements. They just follow her the way that a player icon would in a third-person video game. They are just rotating around her, and it seems to be weighing her down. You are now able to roll Investigate a Mystery to ask me questions. But at the end of these questions, she will have turned around and you will have lost your opportunity to gather information.
All right. We're off to a better start with this. All right. 11.
All right, that'll be 3 questions.
All right. What is Slokta's true intent with these items that we're recovering?
I know the answer. I'm trying to give it to you and based on the context of what you have. They are very powerful items. If she's trying to obtain multiple of them, it must be for a ritual that is very powerful. Creating a portal could be one of them to a different plane. Cheating death could be another. If it has something to do with this anchor around her ankles, this trio of sleeping ghosts who are keeping her grounded, that could also be, part of it.
Yeah. Yep. Is Slokta being honest about the requirements to open the portal to KPO?
Sort of. You think that she could open the portal with fewer items than she has talked about. You gather that because you can see what's opening the portal that she's currently doing, and it's pulling from magical items in her ghost market. Through this lens, you're just seeing kind of the connectivity of energy. And it does not seem to require an explosive amount, You're probably close to that amount with what you've already gathered to open a portal. These portals you can imagine are different than these portals into her memory are different than what she would be opening to KPO. Especially if it's in a protected place.
Does she have any weaknesses or vulnerabilities?
Yeah. You can see that the ghosts that are anchored around her are severely limiting her power, which is why she is drawing on magical items to do the things that she's been doing. Whatever they are, they seem to be a ball and chain of sorts. And at that, she casts this spell, and through the lens, you can see that it requires her to fully channel magical items to do so. She's not really doing any of the magic herself. And that is another thing that you see based on this anchor around her bottom. That's kind of your info that you're getting. That's how you learn it. And a portal opens in the pit, ringed with gold. Golden letters materialize in the air before you. They read, "The Bank Job." Below the level title, the difficulty reads, "Medium." Then it clicks over to hard mode because you guys failed a bunch during the WWE sequence.
What?
An objective creeps up in gold letters as well, and it says, "To beat this scenario, you will need to bring Slokta whatever you find in safety deposit box H311.
H311. Okay.
Yep, write that down. Write that down. Slokta is there, presenting the portal to you. She almost catches Sam looking through the lens, but doesn't. And she says, "Okay, so memory." Burn one of those charges too, by the way, Sam.
Right, down to 3. You got it.
This is test number 6. You go in there, you bring me whatever you find in the safety deposit box, and we continue down this very lucrative path for the both of us, as we have done so 5 times before. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's take a 2-minute break.
Oh, that's Slokta.
Her name's Rex because she wrecks hearts and bodies.
She says, hey, welcome back. Come on in.
Hey, you look clean.
Thank you.
That's a really cool harpoon gun. Did you make that yourself?
I did, actually, yeah.
I think to accurately describe it would turn the stomachs of some of our listeners, but I'm going to attempt to do so anyway.
Right.
And I say, I don't know any magic, but I used to fry ants back on my planet with this guy.
You're a sadist.
Matt Vansel.
Does it make me magical?
Red card.
Oh no. No.
So you're out 5 minutes because you said by 5 p.m. Wait, actors are like chili. By 5 p.m. they're shit.
Fair enough. It's a fair cuff.
You in.
The following is a paid advertisement.
You all had the stew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need everybody to make an easy constitution check.
Are you kidding?
You all rolled ones. That's okay. It's just stew. They serve it at the inn all day long. No big deal.
Should be fine. Okay. What? What?
Your entire party dies of dysentery.
Gosh. We have builds that should let us survive that, but our dice betray us. I wish there were a way to show these dice what we really thought of them.
Has this ever happened to you? Your dice just hate you. You've tried everything to get them to roll well.
That's right. You can do this. Just let me know what you need. Massage, bubble bath. You could go on a date after this. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese.
Seducing.
Hey, come on, baby. Don't be like that. We're together. And the mood is right.
Reasoning.
You are a 20-sided die. The odds of rolling a 1 are 1 in 20. Now, the odds of rolling 5 ones in a row are 1 in 3.2 million. Why? Why are you sucking? Stop sucking, please.
Threatening.
Oh, really? You think I won't do it? I've done it before. I've done it before, and I'll do it to you.
And even dark offerings.
To the gods of blood, I offer you this sacrifice.
Then you need Die.Club, the ultimate in dice retribution services. Here's how it works, and some testimonials.
So the best thing about Die.Club is that they fit the punishment to the crime. For example, my rogue walking down a dungeon corridor. I roll a spot check. I roll a 1. I fail to see the gelatinous cube. I walk into it, get dissolved completely. Oh! Damn you, Die!
All I had to do was jump out of a tree. I had max ranks and tumble. I rolled a 1.
For a long time, I was just angry at the dice. I wanted to punish them, myself. But it's too hard. It hurt my hand. It hurt the tools I was trying to use. I even ate one of the die one time.
I had so many ranks in balance. So many ranks in balance. A suspension bridge over a pit of lava. I failed the roll, obviously a 1.
So, I send my die off to Die.Club. Now my die is sitting in a jello mold in someone's refrigerator in North Carolina. Thanks, Die.Club.
Take the offending die. Place it and seal it in the provided envelope. Mail it off to Die.Club.
I put my die in an envelope and sent it off to Die.Club, and a week later I got it.
Welcome back, everybody. You now have a portal floating in front of you that says the bank job, hard mode. Would you like to go through the portal?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful! Good luck. And you jump into the portal. This one feels different than the other ones that you've jumped through. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it feels a little bit itchier, as if the transition isn't as smooth. And when the floor first rushes up to meet your feet, the world around you is a little transparent, but it then pops in. You find yourself sitting inside a carriage. The interior is spacious, easily seating the four of you, as well as a woman who you've never met. She looks quite regal in her wide-brimmed hat and stitched-back dress. She says, "Now, all right, are y'all ready to do this?"
Of course.
Yes.
Born ready.
Wonderful. Now, I'm sorry that we didn't have time before this meet to get to know each other better. My name is Sly Tate, the Blackjack Brandywine Rose. And I was named by Merc Worky.
That's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be your safe cracker and explosives expert. Your gear is underneath the seat. She gestures to a large black duffel bag.
I open it up.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the good.
I'm going to drop this into the Skype so you can do with it what you will. And then I will tell you what is inside. And you are welcome to do with it or not do with it whatever you want. There are 5 gas masks, 3 smoke grenades, a heavy-duty drill with 2 extra drill bits, remote explosives ×3, and 2 disguise kits. Now, we can do this the loud way or the quiet way. Either way, I imagine it's going to end up getting loud, but it's just about how long we can put that off. Now, Sly does know a little bit about the bank. You can roll Investigate a Mystery to ask her that many questions before this heist starts. So you know that you need the contents of safety deposit box H311. But that is all you know. So who would like to roll to ask Sly some questions?
We add lore to that.
You do.
That's
I feel like that
I'm
should
a
be
plus
the-
3 with everything.
Oh, right. Yeah, wizard or vamp.
Was it night?
It is not,
Oh,
Never mind.
because the bank is open. So it is daytime.
Here we go, Sammy.
Okay, we're still in the money here. 10.
Cool. You get 3 questions.
What
You can.
kind of, what kind of investment options does this particular? No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you can ask about security systems. You can ask about locations of things. You can ask about defenses, ways in. Hold that thought. I'm going to just close the door because I got some people while you think. I just need to shut them up.
Yeah, you got it. Luckily, I've been watching a lot of heist movies lately, so I know everything to ask.
I'm going to close this door, okay?
What heist movies have you been watching? I love a
You
good
got
heist
the
movie.
squealer. Which one of you is going to roll to the feds when they put the pressure on us? That's what I want to know.
Probably
Remember,
me.
nobody gets hurt. You understand?
Almost definitely.
I've just been going through Netflix and literally watching every heist movie. One that I really actually enjoyed, far more than I thought it would, was Den of Thieves. It's one of those movies where you're like, yeah, there's no way this could be good. And then you start watching, you're like, is this like actually well written? Oh, wow.
Who's in that? Is that the one with 50 Cent?
Yeah, 50 Cent and Gerard Butler and the leprechaun guy from American Gods. This actor, he's like phenomenal. He's like I don't know if you guys know American Gods. He's like ironically large. He's like 6'5" or something like that. Anyway, questions. What are the standard bank protocols offering resistance to a heist? So if you know, are they is there standard thing to comply, or is it going to be resistance?
This is a company-owned bank, so I highly doubt that they will be interested in letting us walk away with anything, because you know,
they'll try and murder us all.
Exactly. The company stores more than just money in these banks, and they will not risk any of their IP getting out.
All right.
Rex is reevaluating whether or not she wants to be involved with this whole heist, knowing how the company would treat such a transgression.
Disguise kits. What is the amount of? We don't have a key or anything like that to the lockbox. We just have to get what's in it. What is the estimated amount of time to penetrate and acquire the contents of lockbox H311?
Once we're inside the vault, we will have very little trouble getting whatever we want out of it, assuming we are able to walk it out the front door. But getting into the vault is what is going to take some time. That is where I come in. I will be able to drill through the vault, assuming that I do not break all 3 of my bits. There will be some rolls involved. Now,
The vault and the safety deposit boxes are inside the vault.
Yes, the safety deposit boxes are inside the vault.
There's only one. If there's not a separate vault for anything else,
right? You get that one for free because I kind of gave you the information anyways. But it will take me about 10 minutes to drill through and open the vault. There are some security measures that I will not be able to rush. That thing is locked down tight, but I have experience breaking into company vaults.
So you will need someone to run a distraction so nobody comes and bothers you while you do your work?
Yeah, well, there'll be any number of ways that we can do this. You can either distract them or hold them off. Either way, I'll just need about 10 minutes.
How loud is the drill? Is that something you'll be able to do stealthily, or once we start drilling, they know we're drilling?
To answer that question, I will use your third. Mark, I got you on echo again.
He says it's not him.
Okay. You're not on mute there, Mark. So I will use your third question to answer in a way that will give you the location of the vault as well. The vault is in the basement of this building, which means that assuming no one knows we are down there, I will be able to drill without anyone finding out. It is rather loud, but that shouldn't matter if we are downstairs by ourselves. And those are your 3 questions. So I'm going to let you take point. My job is really the finish line. Once everything is set up, you can get me down to the vault however you like, and I know how to use the drill. I will need some help, but it will just be a skill check of your choosing and a narrative reason why.
Well, I think we should probably send the rogue down with the, the lock person. That just seems fairly reasonable to me. You 2 could get disguised up and enter as some sort of, maintenance professionals to go down to the downstairs while Bryn, Rex, and I take the top side as the contingency plan, so that if there
and we stage a flash mob.
That is a much better idea than what I was going to suggest.
Oh, I didn't mean to talk over your suggestion. I just got excited about that idea. What was your suggestion?
No, sincerely, that is a much better, more visually stunning approach to this heist. They will never see that coming. I can't imagine there being something more distracting than that. Do we have time to come up with choreography?
There is always time for choreography.
Amen, Rex.
Yeah, if you guys want to initiate a flash mob inside the bank, you will be able to do so from inside the bank. You will have to tell me how and have some rolls, but I'm not opposed to it. You look out the windows of this carriage, which are behind some curtains, and you can see that the bank is a one-story building. It is a decent size. There's 2 doors on the front of it and an alley on either side that go around. You do get a sense, it's a strange thing when you actually focus on the world outside the immediacy of the bank and your carriage. It played to your peripheral, but now focusing on it, it is very obviously a backdrop. This world, this memories world, is considerably smaller than any that you've experienced before. But you've seen outside of your spaces. You've traveled through vast swamps, but this is like a very small area around this bank, and there is just a backdrop that looks like buildings around it. And the 2 alleys seem to lead back on either side to the back of the bank.
So some thoughts that I had in terms of things to keep an eye out for. Other safety deposit boxes. You know, if our flash mob is successful and we're able to get access, I wonder if it would be helpful for us to eventually all congregate in the basement so that we can see what else we can make off with, as well as make our exit together. Getting out, if we want to try to sneak out the same way, or if we want to just, you know, have someone on the outside essentially backing a truck into the vault kind of thing. Security systems, if we want to disable those, if we can disable. I keep thinking I cannot do this without in my head playing the game Payday 2. So it is so hard for me to not see just those levels and like security cameras and key cards.
It's how I built this level. I had the same game in mind.
Yeah, sure. Well, of course, we've played the game together, so we share this. Impersonating either impersonating the bank manager or impersonating like a very VIP client to get into the bank manager's office and then have him as a hostage.
Now, assuming Sly speaks up and she says, assuming we do not trip any alarms, if we are able to get the bank manager's key card, we will be able to open the vault without having to drill through. I didn't bring this up because it seems like a highly risky and almost impossible endeavor, because if we trip any alarms, the bank will go down into a lockdown, and even the manager's key card will not be able to open the vault. They will have to wait for an outside executive to come in and run an inspection before they take the bank off lockdown. So, we could try. Sorry, go ahead, Bryn.
I was just going to say I do have a spell that I haven't used before that allows me to impersonate any human. Take the form of any human.
Is very nice. You also have a chameleon cloak, it looks like.
Well, that lets me blend, correct? It doesn't let me look.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the face shape thing, yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could run a little bit of recon if you'd like. I think that the security outside the bank is far less than that inside. Assuming that we don't do anything too stupid or too loud, we could probably look around.
Yeah.
Okay. She opens the door and steps down. She has a very cool skull-topped cane that has rubies in its eyes. And she's wearing a floor-length, almost, but not quite as formal as an old-fashioned ball gown. It would be something that you would wear around town, but kind of from the same era. And she does have this very wide-brimmed hat. She's super cool.
Yeah.
She does step down and she, gestures for you to join her. You're now standing in front of the bank. There are 2 front doors and a big window that looks inside, but the alleys go around the other side. There is no guards that you can see outside the bank, and through the window you can see that they do have a bit of a full line, so that the bank is busy. It is about midday.
I'm going to casually stroll around the bank because I feel like it's less suspicious if it's a smaller group of us walking into the bank.
Cool. You mean like down one of the alleys and around?
Yeah.
Cool. You walk back there. When you get, let's say you're looking at the bank and you're going to go around the right side. You follow the alley around. The outside of it is indeed just a backdrop. You can reach out and touch it. It's like a painted backdrop. But the bank is real. You walk around, and on the back corner, you do see a couple windows. And when you look inside, you can see that there is a desk and a form sitting at them. The windows are tinted, and you can tell, Rex, just from what you know about the company and its holdings, they are most likely armored, probably warded against magic as well. The tint gives that away. You turn the corner, there's another window looking into that same office, and then you can see that there's a back door and a ladder leading up to the roof.
I mean, now I want to climb up onto the roof.
Definitely.
When you get up there, you can see that there is not much, but there is what looks to be an air duct that leads down into the AC system. And that's about it. You can see as you walk to the front of the building and you can look down, you can see your party standing in the street looking up at you.
And, you know, I pretend I'm looking at some other buildings and I'm like, there's a vent on the top that looks like someone could climb down it. Wow. What a gorgeous day we're having. What beautiful weather.
I tag. Hey, Sly, and the stone. Sly, right?
Yes.
Have you seen blueprints for this building? Do you know where? You told us the vault was in the basement, but do you have any more information than that? Do you know what wall it's facing? I'd like to plan our exit here, and if I know where we can bust out from, it'd be great.
From what I understand, and I have seen what have been pre-company blueprints before they took over the establishment,
Sure.
The vault is unique in that it is freestanding. It does not attach to any other walls except the floor. So there is space to move around it. But I have not seen it myself. I'm familiar with the model, which is how I know how to get through the door. But I've only ever seen these embedded in the ground or in the walls themselves. This one is special in that it is freestanding, and it is also probably why they keep the things here that they keep here, because it is unique.
Is this filled with magical, like, traps, or are we looking at, like, electricity here? It's not...
From what I understand, this is a standard company establishment. All of their security measures, besides probably magically reinforcing some of the barriers in the windows, are going to be either manpower or technological advancements. This is rather straightforward.
I was thinking, like, cutting power to the place. Is that...
That would work, yes. Now, that would probably trip a secondary alarm when the backup generator kicks on, but we would have a window in between that to make a move. We could get inside, but we'd almost certainly still be in there when the secondary alarm kicks on.
Gotcha.
But it would be a way for us to get inside. Everything you've talked about so far seems feasible. We can walk in through the front door. We can do it in disguises. We can pretend to be a VIP. We can pretend to be maintenance people. Really, we can do it however you want. We can sneak in through the back. It's up to you. It's just once the heist starts, be ready for anything.
I mean, I want to, like, cover story and walk in there. I mean, that sounds like the most fun to me.
Sure.
Yeah, really, I'm only attached to blowing shit up as part of our exit. So,
I imagine that there will come a time for that, yes.
just as it seems like we're kind of doing our dream fantasy bank heist, Sam and Rex, what are you guys really excited about?
You guys have little comms, so even though Rex is on the roof, you can have a regular conversation without fearing being overheard. These seem to be like part of your in-memory gear.
Nice.
What approximate era do I think we're walking into?
It's in a little bit of a weird mashup, like most of the Void Jumper spaces are, but it's a little bit more old-fashioned than you guys are used to, so this probably happened sometime in the past. We're no longer in like Colosseum Arena stone gear times, but we are looking at like 1980s-ish Void Jumpers.
Okay, all right. I'm curious about the currency situation here, in that we might be able to utilize our remaining 150 gold coins to open an account of some sort as a distraction. If if they're on like a paper currency, something like that, each of these coins, can be worth, if they're like a half-ounce coin, worth $600 or 600 credits worth of, space bucks or whatever it might,
If we were to impersonate a VIP and walk into this place with a satchel full of 100 gold pieces to open an account, we would certainly be making a statement.
Well, Bryn, if you're interested in going that route, I got a nice prop for you.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're at the point where we start making moves, kind of in the setup phase of the heist, with our pieces we want to set up in place now. Getting on a disguise, rigging anything from the outside, stuff like that.
True. Who's going to be our VIP?
I think that's Bryn.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Bryn.
All right. Now, will
Can I
you
be
be using your
Slocta?
spell?
Absolutely. Fucking lewdly.
Good. Very interesting. Yes, I think that would work just fine. You have to roll for your spell, do you not?
I do. I'm at a -1, so.
I do not recall the specifics of it, so you will have to tell me how it works as we see it.
Oh, it's a 5.
What happens when you fail on that spell?
I don't know. We didn't talk about that.
Did we not?
It was like when I leveled up, I think I took that spell and.
As Bryn or as the vampire?
Bryn.
Okay.
And
I feel like you're in trouble, but
Probably.
I'm gonna just double check.
who knows who I end up looking like?
It'll just take a second. I think I know what happens, but I don't want to do it if it's not deserved.
Because it's really, really mean.
No DM ever.
It's not mean. It's just funny, and I want it to be, like if it was written 5 weeks ago, it's real.
I found it.
What does it say?
I shapeshift permanently.
That's what I fucking thought it was. All right, cool. You, Bryn, transform into Slocta with vampire teeth. Not Ghost Slocta, not four-armed, snake-haired Slocta. Emperor Slocta, who you've seen in the past. You are wearing her robes. The spell happens instantaneously. And you can tell that something went wrong when you cast it, because you would assume, like most concentration-based spells, there's a safety latch that you're keeping your finger on to keep the spell active. This one doesn't seem to have that. You're just Slocta, the vampire. So you can use the disguise and it will work. The only consequence will happen later when you want to change out of it.
Great.
I thought that's what happened when you failed. Okay, so you see a very tall, very striking woman with long black hair and very high cheekbones, wearing the most expensive summoner's robes you've ever seen. They are jet black and detailed with just a hint of neon green.
Oh.
You now have a VIP. Okay, so we have our VIP and we have a large amount of gold. I do not think it would be a bad idea to give her an escort, but besides one person, that would leave the rest of us to do whatever it is you'd like.
I'd like to set some explosives here on the outside, some of these remote explosives.
Sure. Where would you like to set them?
I'm trying to essentially be able to on the wall in the back alley.
When you get to the back alley, you can see that there is a ladder which would lead up to the roof where Rex currently is, and there's also a back door which seems to be very heavy duty and locked, like an employee's entrance that would need a card to get through.
Yeah, I'm going to inconspicuously rig one of the remote explosives by the door.
Cool. You put it in a way that will allow you to blow the door open whenever you choose. Just remember that. I'm not marking down your guys' choices, the ones that I'm not going to be needing to worry about. So just whenever you're ready to like do your thing, let me know. But it works.
I quickly scramble off the roof and run down to meet everybody. And I say, I just remembered, I have those shoes that will take me anywhere. That could be really helpful.
Hell yeah.
Just in case you guys forgot as much as I forgot.
Your squid sneaks.
My squid sneaks. My sneaky squids.
All right, so you got a possible exit with an explosive, and you got your VIP, and you got gold. What is everybody else going to be doing?
Rex needs a disguise because Rex is trying to stay off the radar.
Okay, disguise kit would work.
I think I could also go in as, Slocta's spiritual advisor.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Okay, we got the VIP and entourage. What are you going to be doing, Wizard?
Well, I mean, somebody needs to go through the ducts, the air ducts, for sure.
Okay.
And if I think Tag is the most dexterous, but if he doesn't want to do that, I'm going to go through the ducts. Even though I'll get stuck for sure.
I'm happy to do whatever. I imagine be going in fully invisible. So we had talked about me accompanying Sly down with it seems like the drill should be backup plan, because if we're going with this meet the bank manager, use his key card, seems like the drill is, oh fuck, that failed. We now need to hardwire our way into this vault.
Sure. And you will have no problem getting any of the items into the bank. You have cases that look like you should be carrying them with you. So the drill can come with you, even if it is just a backup plan. You don't need to go to the trouble of hiding it or doing any of that busy work. You will have everything you need when you're inside the bank.
We have enough storage space to get stuff out of these vaults with us?
Yeah. So inside, maybe I didn't put it on there. I meant to just put 5 canvas duffels that are rolled up inside, so each of you could flop them open, dump gold in, and leave. Sly's pretty dope. This is not her first rodeo.
All right, it seems like I should be the point person then, because that way I can watch and report how Bryn and Rex's plan A goes, and then relay its success or failure to enact plan B.
You could do that from the vents.
Then it's the vents for me.
All right, let's get into this. So
That
we're just
sounds
gonna go...
like it's going to be eventful.
That joke was very inventive.
After I get done with these sessions, you guys make so many puns, I just have to vent.
and then
You should keep track of when the next plan will happen by using an advent calendar.
Okay, that's enough. So here's what we're gonna do. For the first round, I'm just going to go in the order that I normally do. And you guys will step through each part of the heist. Whenever anything requires a roll, you'll roll. When it doesn't, you'll just be able to do whatever you want. And I do have some rules that the bank will follow. So when things happen, I have parameters to follow.
Good.
Okay, so
let's assume that we all have a gas mask. And let's divvy up these 3 smoke grenades too.
The gas masks will protect you from any like poison-based attacks, which won't probably come into play. They're mostly to protect you from the smoke grenades.
Right.
And that's why there's 5 of them in there. Each of you have a gas mask.
I say you 3 take the smoke grenades because I'm going to try to kind of be a sneakier tool here.
Yeah, I could take a handful because I could drop them out of the vent in the event that we need to like drop a smoke screen or something on.
Sure. You take 2. We'll give 1 to Rex just in case they get into trouble and they need a little something extra.
So before we get into this, just make sure that I got this right. Sam is going to be a pod in the vents. Rex and Bryn are entering together. And then Tag and Sly are the 3rd unit.
I don't know about Sly. My plan is to either through the front or the vents go in invisibly and start to mark a clean path to the vault, if that means like taking out some guards and, you know, stashing their bodies in the break room kind of thing.
Sure. Okay. So what Sly's going to do is
as long as Sly isn't like Natalia from GoldenEye and holding me back as an NPC follower, she can come along for the ride.
She's just going to enter into the bank shortly after the VIP, and she's going to get in line, and she's just going to be a customer. You guys will all have comms, so you can speak to each other. And she will be in the lobby ready for whatever she needs to do. For me, as a DM, I'm not going to have her actively participating in the heist. Whenever you need her to do something, just let me know and she'll do it. Okay, so we're going to start with
me. She's a badass. I would be honored to have her.
Okay, she'll follow you. We're going to start with Sam. Sam, you climb up onto the roof and you get into the vents. You can see that it's kind of a small AC system, and so there's not much real estate here, but you're able to climb down and get to a position where you have a rather good look at the inside of the bank. You are behind the room's cut in half. You would be on the employee's side. You're in the back corner of the room above what looks to be a staircase. There is a large desk that runs the length of the room with a treated glass partition that you would assume is the type of armored and magically warded stuff. There are 5 clerks sitting back there, several desks, just office desks, and what looks like a separate office. On the other side of the partition, there is just like a fill out your deposit slips counter with a line of about 15 people that wraps around it, going one by one up to the clerks at the partition. You can see that there are 3 guards. 1 is stationed on the employee side. The other 2 are stationed on the customer side next to each of the 2 front doors. You're able to relay all of this information to your buddies. Which brings us to Rex and Bryn. You walk in the front door.
Well,
There's a line. Sorry. Sorry.
There's some things you have to do before you can even open the doors for such a VIP.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is light a little bundle of sage and I, waft it all over her and around the door just to get her in ready to be in that mood of like, I am superior to you all. I have cleansed the air of all of your impurities.
Cool.
And these are the kind of doors that you can just push open, like Return of the King style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dramatically push open the doors, and then I'm going to walk into the lobby of this bank, and I'm going to continue waving my sage and say, "Be careful, minions. Summoner Slakta has arrived and will soon be gracing all of us with her presence."
For this showmanship, if you get into a position where Slakta's identity is being questioned, one or the both of you will have a +1 to the first roll in which you need to defend yourself. But there was a bit of a regular bank volume buzz happening in the line that stops as soon as you walk in and start waving the sage. At Slakta's name, you can see a type of cautious fear cross many of their faces, and they quiet down. There's a couple whispers, and you can hear somebody say, "Did she say Slakta? Slakta the Insidious."
I said Slakta!
They shut up. And they all just stand kind of stock still. Bryn, the stage, or should I say Slakta, the stage has been set for you.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know a ton what she was like alive. I'm guessing she was horrible, so I'm just gonna have to get into this and not be nice.
Like 101 Dalmatians.
Okay. And I walk in with a flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk past all the people, looking at them. And I walk to the front. And I tap. I say, "I would like to speak to the manager, please."
The person at the desk says, "Yes, Summoner. Of course, anything you need, Summoner." And stands up.
One of the people in line is like, "Hey, she just cut line." I'm like, "Yes, she did. Silence or she'll cut you next."
Did she say cut? Did she say cut?
I said cut!
They shut up. The employee stands and walks back to the office, and you watch this from the vent, Sam, as you see the employee knock on the door. It slides open, and they enter. You see a form at a rather large desk that you cannot quite make out before the door slides closed, which brings us to Tag.
Okay. All right, Sam. See you on the other side. And Tag turns invisible and starts to slink down the air vent.
Okay. You're able to get in there and squeeze past Sam. What do you want Sly to be doing?
I guess I just wanted to include her for flavor and because she seems cool. Okay. I'm doing a pretty solo thing. So what Tag, his plan is to kind of just like be behind the scenes clearing out variables.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants to tag along at just I mean, you can activate her as much as you please. I've given you my overarching plan. So however you want to fit
she's
into
cool.
that.
Have her do something cool.
Yeah, I don't really want to like relegate her to just being a following NPC because she does seem to be pretty badass.
Yeah, she can use. She will put on a disguise kit and enter into the bank as a guard.
Okay, great.
And once she will position herself next to the door that leads into the employee area. If you are able to open it, she will be able to enter into the back area with you as a guard and have the ability to hide in plain sight. But for right now, she will be posted in the lobby as a guard.
Great.
Okay.
That's great. Well, yeah, we'll have her be lookout.
Okay.
Maybe not the lobby because it seems like we have a lot of bodies in the lobby. Maybe she's just a little bit behind the scenes, being my eyes and ears as people are moving around in the back.
Okay. The building's kind of small now that you're inside. There's only two halves. There's like the lobby, the front side, and then there's the employee side on the back. The employee side is blocked off by a door that requires a key card. She could be in the air duct waiting for a distraction to like drop in as a guard and just act like she's been there all along if you'd prefer.
But there's a whole basement level as well, right?
That you have to get down to, yes, but you can only get down to it from the employee side. And you do see some stairs. When you drop down out of the air duct, there are some stairs leading down.
Sorry, so the air duct drops me down into the employee side?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm already behind that door.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Where do you want her? You want her in the air vent waiting to drop down behind her, or you want her stationed outside the door ready to be let in?
She would drop down inside with me.
Yes. But you're invisible and she's not. So she's going to have to be either in some kind of disguise, which would be fine.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, she is the guard, but the air vent drops us behind the scenes. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, also I'll drop down and make sure the coast is clear for this guard to drop through the air vent.
Yeah, you see a clerk passing by you very scared, headed towards the manager's office, and you realize that because of Slokta's arrival, the coast is relatively clear because now all focus is on the summoner.
Great.
You are in the employee area. You have not been detected, and you are invisible. What would you like to do?
Unlock and kind of sneakily tape prop the employee door open so that anyone can come back in without a key.
You're going to roll, I think, just whatever your thieves' tools are.
I think I assume that's Dex.
Yeah. You won't need to, from your side, it just opens. So it'll be about rigging the lock to stay unlocked.
Okay. 13.
Okay. You are able to slide over while everyone is focused on them and being invisible, and you make it to a door that separates the two halves of the place, and you are able to push it open and then using your thieves' tools disable the lock so that as long as nobody is paying close attention, you now have an easy way to cross between the two places.
Right.
Which brings us back to Sam. Sam, is there anything you'd like to do from the vent?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to bide my time, but you can be certain that I'll do something eventually.
We just got a donation too, FYI.
Who's it from?
Wags gave us $75, and he
What's the
is
action?
summoning. No, he said hashtag Jeeves. I don't know
the
what that
robot
means.
butler.
The robot butler.
Oh, thanks, Wags. Wags, thank you.
Thanks. Is the robot butler a friend or a foe?
It is a foe. It was on a list of enemies. Wags, I think I have a good place for the robot butler to be. So rather than it being an immediate summon, I promise you, I am placing it in a more strategic place.
Unless Wags wants it to be an immediate summon.
Ask Wags. We got a chat going.
Hashtag Ask Wags.
Hashtag Ask Wags.
Ash Wags.
Any response?
I'll see. Do you want an immediate summon or a delayed, more thought out summon, Wags?
We'll wait for it. All right, so we got VIP Slokta and the what did you call yourself?
What?
What is your title?
Gronda, spiritual advisor.
Okay, spiritual advisor. You can see that the manager's door slides open. The clerk hurries out and just disappears over behind a desk. And out walks Danny DeVito.
Oh, shit.
And he
is a bank manager?
Crosses to the teller station. And where are you, Rex?
I'm wherever the summoner is.
Right, but if she's, I'm giving you an opportunity to either be within his sight or to be waving sage elsewhere. It is up to you.
I'll be waving sage elsewhere then, please.
Okay. So Danny DeVito enters to find Slokta at the teller station.
I kind of spot him out of the corner of my eye and just, like real cool and casual.
Wait, what? What? I thought we were like hundreds of years past Danny DeVito's time on the Blight Planet.
That is true.
Maybe we're about to find out some more weird stuff about this planet.
All right, cool.
Danny DeVito approaches Slokta. He does not seem afraid at all. In fact, at the sight of Slokta, he kind of drops the like bank manager thing and approaches and says, yeah, may I help you?
Yes, I think so. I've got a item that is very valuable. What's your name? Oh wait, I'm kidding. I don't care. I've got this item that I need to put into a bank vault, and I need to see your vault to see if I can trust it. You can make that happen, can't you?
Yeah, you can go wherever you want. Are you doing this to mess with whoever's in the memory?
What?
I mean, yeah, I've never seen you take the corporeal form. So unless this is another one of your avatars, I just assumed you're in here to throw a wrench in the usual bank job test?
Yes, you're gonna ruin my cover. I wanted to play human for a little bit. Just go with it.
You got it. And you said you wanted to make a deposit and see the vault?
Yes.
Okay. Let her through. Okay, Tag, you have an opportunity to remedy something here. You can see that one of the only guard positioned on the employee side is about to walk over to the door and unlock it for Slokta to be let through. You have rigged this door to remain unlocked. If somebody tries to open it, they are going to see that. Would you like to undo what you did? You have a very limited window.
Yes.
Okay. Roll plus dex.
10.
Okay. With a full success, I will not do anything to you.
So
Ow.
I can't set it up such that in my head, someone comes in, they hold their key card on the thing, and then they push it open. If there's an employee at this bank who has been working there for any length of time, they know key card, open door, key card, open door. It's a piece of physical choreography in their brain, key card, open door. So they wouldn't be trying to open the door without flashing the key card first.
That logic holds, so I will allow you to keep the trap active, especially since you rolled a 10.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the guard walks
Kind of
over.
benevolent DM.
The guard walks over. Unlike Danny DeVito, everybody else in the bank is still very wary of Slokta's presence, including this guard. So whatever Danny DeVito's doing is not what is happening with the rest of the people in this memory. He goes over and he walks with the guard, who opens the door, and he waves you through.
Is he wearing shorts?
He is. He's wearing... It's like... the type of suit like Pauly Shore might wear, because they're obviously part of the suit, but they just happen to be shorts. So he's got the blazer, the shirt, the tie, the slacks, but they're like cutoffs.
And I haven't eaten since yesterday, so it's not. I'm just not gonna look.
You're just gonna come walk through, Bryn, Slokta?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing, Rex?
That's a good question. How to I think maybe because I want to steer clear of Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Because I think the jig is up if he sees me with Slokta. So I for the moment I will keep my back to them and just keep waving Sage about and kind of keeping an eye on the lobby.
Okay. So as you get led into the employee area, Bryn, Danny DeVito, you can see he's trying his best to put back on the manager role. Says, so you want to go down to the vault?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just grab my card. And he walks over to his office and steps inside.
I'm gonna follow on his heels.
Okay. You enter into his office and he is rooting around in his desk. And he says, I swear it was just over here just a second ago. And he leans over and he does eventually fish out this card. You can see that the windows in here lead out to the alley and the backdrop out there. And he turns around and he's holding the card and he says, this is new, huh?
I just want to shake things up.
I appreciate that. I mean, it gets pretty boring, so I get it. Yeah, so we can go down to the vault if you're ready.
Can you hold on for just 1 second?
Sure.
And I walk out into the hall and I hit my comms and I'm like, oh, Danny DeVito's here and I got him walking me down to the vault. So what do we do now?
Just go down to the vault, use the key card to open up H311, take the thing, and just walk right out the front door. And if he questions you, tell him it's part of the test.
Okay. I'm going to need a good excuse to get into... Well, I did send... Okay, I got it. It's
Punch
good.
him if you have to.
Well, I'll do more than that. Bye.
No, bye.
No,
Tag starts to say bye, but then realizes she's already gone off.
I click back on the comms to say, no biting.
No promises.
Yeah, so you... Danny DeVito comes back out and he starts to escort you back down to the vault. You can see Sly in her guard's uniform stationed next to the stairs. And as you guys start to descend, she peels off and very comfortably escorts you down. Danny DeVito doesn't even notice. He just like assumes it's part of the charade. And you are led down into the basement. Tag, what are you doing?
Let me tag... let me scope out, kind of go to where that door is that leads to the outside, the one where I rigged the explosive by.
It's the only door in the employee's side that leads outside. You can just see that it's on an exterior wall, and it is unlike the side that leads from this side to the customer side, which just can click open. This one is locked from both sides, so you need to scan your way out, and it will log whoever is coming in and out as an additional like internal security measure.
Okay. So the door is just here. We have access to it.
You would have to actually like try to pick this lock. This lock.
No,
like
not to get out. I'm saying there is nothing obstructing our path to this door.
No, but your explosives, if you'd like, will be able to bypass any kind of locks.
So I want to poke around this side. I'm looking for any kind of electronic security system. I don't know if there are cameras, if there's like a tripwire system, an alarm system. Basically, if an alert does get sent out, I want to try to get ahead of it and deactivate that.
Sure. You poke around for just a little bit. There isn't much in regards to electronics in this area, but what few things there are seem to be wired into things that are heading back towards the manager's office. And so you assume that whatever tech security there's going to be is going to be in Danny DeVito's office.
Okay. I'd like to make my way there.
Sure. You will have to pick the lock.
To his office.
Yes. He has a manager card and you've seen him use it like the regular employee card, but he has something else that allows him to get into the vault, which is what he went back in.
11.
Okay, you pick the lock and you find yourself in Danny DeVito's office. He has a very large desk and a setup of what looks like very 1980s void technology computers on his desk.
Looks like it's time to do some hacking.
So you approach that, but we're going to bounce back to Sam, who has seen Tag at least let you know that he is going into the manager's office invisibly. You've seen the door open and close without anybody going in or out. And you've seen Bryn and Slokta and Sly be led down into... Oh, sorry, Slokta, Sly, and Danny DeVito go down into the basement. What are you doing, Sam?
Well, it seems like things are pretty under control. So, of course, as a not very dexterous wizard, I think I should see if I've successfully been able to maneuver through these air vents at all.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Oh, I'm trying to, of course, get these find the most strategic places to deploy the smoke grenades should something go awry.
Okay. How do you want to do it? You want to do it like carefully using decks, or you want to do it? How are you doing it? Just tell me narratively, and we'll choose the stat based on whatever it is you're trying to do.
I'm going to use my mind to. I'm going to examine if I can, because I have a advantage of the teller side of the bank, to try to identify where any of the like alarm triggers that they would press during like a heist would be, and just so I can try to stop the nearest tellers or whoever they are before they can trip the silent alarm or something like that.
Sure. With a little bit of study, you are able to see that each of the 5 teller banks are equipped with a silent alarm underneath, where they would be able to, acting as though they are getting into the cash drawer, tap a button on the bottom of the counter.
All of them. Okay. Well then. That does create a situation in which hopefully nothing will go wrong. I use prestidigitation to make some of the dust into tiny little bunnies to entertain myself while my friends successfully pull off this heist.
Okay. Roll plus magic. He's up in the vent getting bored using magic, okay? It's not free.
Oh, the irony. The irony. Well, I think I'm going to have to use a charge from my staff to prevent having a failure here.
Okay.
Or do I want things to get really exciting now? Because everything's going really, really well. I'm going to use one of the charges from my staff to take my roll of a 5 up to a success.
Okay. So I think that this is how it's going to happen. You're able to just make some dust bunnies start hopping around and bother you. And we kind of see the camera holding on Sam, just tooling around, making these rabbits happen. But then the dust gets a little stirred up, and you can tell that a sneeze is coming on. And we see you like realize what's about to happen, and you're about to let this sneeze rip, where we cut down into the basement. And we see that Slokta is being led by Danny DeVito, and we're going to hold on that beat for Sam for just a moment. You are led down into a basement. It is completely empty of all furniture or frill. And just like Sly described to you, there is a very large, very sturdy-looking vault in the middle of the room, all sides empty, with a full walkway around. It touches no walls but the floor, and it is currently locked. And Danny DeVito walks up with the card and says, "All right, yeah, I can let you inside."
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
He uses the manager's card. It unlocks the vault, and the door slowly swings open. And he gestures for you to do whatever you want.
Okay. And I'm holding just a coin in my hand because I'm nervous. And as I walk in the door, I stumble and the coin falls, and I'm just like, I get down on the ground to pick it up, and I'm right next to Danny DeVito's cap.
It's glistening, it's like there's just a little bit of sweat, so the light is bouncing off of it, just accentuating the curves, the supple plumpness. And as you're down there looking at his calf, he says, I'm all about toying with people, but if you're trying to take the thing out again, we know it doesn't work. You tried plenty of times.
hit my comms and I say, "Kumquat, kumquat."
You. Hey, Bryn. I heard kumquat. How we doing? My friend? Not good? Hold fast. Think about.
Glistening.
It's glistening. That's close your eyes. Look away.
I can
You-
smell it. It
don't
smells like a
sniff.
turkey leg. Glistening. People are usually glistening when they're like ill or they've been exercising a lot. Neither of which are attractive.
Or cooking on a spit at just the right temperature.
There will be a time, Bryn. There will be a time. This is not that moment.
Okay.
You
I turn it
don't
off.
have his consent.
Oh, you're right.
You felt real bad last time. I'm
Right,
just here
right.
to remind you. You felt
Right,
awful.
And I didn't ask, and I'm not going to ask because that's going to give up our thing. I can do this. Okay, see you guys down here.
Bryn.
Turn it off. And with everything, every ounce of restraint I have, I stand up and I say, "What did you say?"
I said you've been down here plenty of times. You've gone to all the little sacred sites in each one of these memories, and you've tried to make off with the goods. You can't take them out yourself. So I don't know what you're trying to do, but
I know. I just got word that that one of them had been messed with, so I'm just gonna open it and look.
okay. You got word that one of the memory items got messed with
Mm-hmm.
by one of us?
I don't know who did it. It came anonymously, so can you just back up a little bit so I can look inside?
Sure. He turns around, kind of like flexing his calves as he does. Jack Black walks like out of the way, just like calves roaring. He says, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're the boss."
Okay.
You can see that Sly has moved from the bottom of the steps to just outside the door. What do you do, Bryn?
By just sort of casually walk over to the HE double hockey sticks and stick my key in.
Okay.
And
you don't have a key, but he just like
I don't have
laughs and walks over and he's like, "All right, you want to try it again? Be my guest." And he puts the key in and opens the box for you. And at that moment, we cut back to Sam, who's on the verge of sneezing. And you can see, Tag, from your vantage, your invisible vantage, that there is a little bit of a bend in the vents and some dust that scatters when a huge "Wachoo!" blows a bunch of dust bunnies out that disintegrate into the air. Everyone on the employee side of the bank turns to look at the air vent. Rex, what do you do?
Okay, so I heard her say kumquat, and I'm panicking because I know what that means. And so I think while I'm on comms with her, so what I had been doing was just burning a lot of sage.
Yeah, people's eyes are watering.
Yeah. Well, the idea being, I'm burning an herb that the smoke of which makes people feel like calm and relaxed, and less inclined to do anything if they happen to notice something untoward happening. So that's what I've been doing, like up until she says kumquat, which is just burning a lot of this herb.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to waft it around as much as possible.
People are like wiping their eyes.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're like, huh.
Yeah, who would even notice a sneeze or a cough? Everyone here has been fucking pepper sprayed by sage.
Only on this side of the partition, my dude.
Yeah, so that's what the problem is. And so when she says kumquat, I take the what is by now a very large bundle of burning herbs, and I try running down after her.
Okay, so you do have the ability to pass right through a door that was previously locked because Tag has set that up for you. You have no problem crossing to the door, but the moment you try to pass through the security door, you do hear a whistle from behind you, and one of the guards signals the other, and they start walking towards you, and they say, we understand that you're part of the summoner's entourage, but we made an exception for her, but it's employees only back there.
Excuse me, her entourage? I am her spiritual advisor. She looks to me for all of her most important matters. She needs me urgently right now. She and I have a very close psychic connection, and I know that she needs me. And she will be extremely displeased to learn that my arrival has been delayed by the likes of you. Do you want to find out what she will do to you? In fact, I believe you already know. Stand aside.
He's like, that being said, roll manipulate someone.
Would this be more of my like +1 to
You would be able to use your banked +1 for bonus identity points here.
Oh!
It won't matter.
3? Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
He apologizes and says, Richard, you stay here. It seems like maybe the summoner's in trouble. Let's go. And he opens the door to escort you down to the vault. A guard is now following you towards the steps. There is another one on this side who says, what's the problem, Frankie? Frankie says, hey, Lyle, listen, the summoner might be in trouble. This spiritual guide is psychically connected. Advisor was psychically connected and said that she just felt a disturbance. So let's go. And so now there are 2 guards who are walking you down the stairs into the basement. Tag. Sam, you've just blown dust out in a sneeze. You and Tag have a moment here as the clerks are kind of like putting together the pieces of hearing the guards talk about something being wrong with the summoner and there being a sneeze coming from the vent. They're about to make a decision, but they haven't got enough information yet. If you'd like to do anything to tip the scales in one direction or another, now is your opportunity.
Yes. Yes, I need to buy some more time because it sounds like the summoner is literally about to get the thing that we came in here for. So, of course, Sam is going to help by being basically out of spells and in his robes in a ventilation shaft, getting himself in trouble by making dust bunnies. So, in a situation like this, there's only one thing to do. Dig my way out of the hole that I've dug myself into. I'm going to whip up some fresh magic to have some of the bunnies, some of the dust that got blown out of the ventilation shaft be wafted into the nose of one of the tellers, making them sneeze in precisely the same tenor of sneeze that came from the vent, and give them all the credit for such nose trumpetry.
Okay. This is going to be coming off of a failed spell roll, so you're just going to have a straight roll. There will be no negatives, no pluses, and you can't use any items to affect it. You're basically rolling luck here because you are kind of out of spells, so you're tapped magically.
I mean, I could kill them, but I don't want to do that. This is not a fireball scenario. Not that I have fireball left. All right, I'm going to get a different dice because this dice is, I don't know. All right, I'm going to get, whatever. Here we go. I got a dice here. No, I need a new dice. This dice is going to give me killed.
Sometimes you need a new die.
All right. All right, we're going with the see-through purpley boy right here.
That's lucky.
And we'll go with sort of this, like, dragonfly. Okay.
Also excellent.
All right. Yeah, I got a whole little case of these different dice. Every time I play Magic the Gathering with somebody back in the day, if they had light counter dice or dice, trade dice. So in a year from now, if we're ever in the same game shop and you want to sling some spells. All right, anyway. Enough to lay a game. Here we go. Now, I just want you guys to know, if I fail, I do level up. But I'm not going to fail.
Oh yeah, I have to mark one of my fails.
Oh, I got several today.
Well, I want you guys just to see how special this is. This is a really special roll here.
No fucking way, really?
It's about as bad as they get, my friend.
Wow.
So here's what happens. You are able to conjure back the little bunnies which were dispersing and zip them down into one of the teller's noses, who at that very moment was just saying to her friend, were they saying that the summoner's in trouble? And you see these dust bunnies slurp up into her nose. And she grabs her friend's shirt as she reaches back for a sneeze. We cut back to the basement where Rex has just been led down by 2 guards to the vault door. When she gets to the outside of it, but does not step through, Danny DeVito turns and catches sight of her immediately and says, that makes way more sense. We cut back up to the employees area where the woman poised to sneeze does so, and a fountain of blood erupts out of her nose, soaking her friend, who screams and says, "The summoner's in trouble!" and slaps the silent alarm. Back down in the vault, we hear the alarms go off. Danny DeVito is standing there with his key in the lockbox, looking at Rex. The moment the alarm goes off, the vault door starts to close. Rex, what do you do?
Oh my god, I don't know. I think priority is getting whatever is out of that vault. We'll figure out how to get out of the vault, but we have to get what's in that lockbox. So I think priority is like trying to knock out Danny DeVito with my shield and grab that key.
You charge into the vault just as Sly slips in behind you. And she uses her cane to smash one of the guards in the face. But that is all the time you have before the vault closes and locks all of you inside. And you know that once the vault is locked, on a lockdown, nothing can open it. I think that Tag probably has the bulk of the gear, so he will have the drill. But what happens next is Danny DeVito looks to Sly and says, "That ain't locked, that end." And Sly says, "Well, of course not. She can't come into this memory." And he says, "But she can come into any of her memories." And Sly says, "Well, yes, but this isn't her memory. It's mine." And we see the vault door on a slow pan out as 2 guards, one holding his face, cannot get in to change anything that's happening inside. And we cut back to Tag, who's sitting in the employee area, invisible. He's just seen a sneeze of blood explode across one of the employees' faces and heard Sam probably yell a cuss word from the vent as the alarm is now sounding.
And Tag says, Gesundheit.
Blackout.
Jesse, you always put some of these twists in here, and I always get so wrapped up whenever what we're doing that I never remembered that any of them could be coming, ever. They're new every time.
Did we know that it was Sly's memory? We didn't know that, did we? I didn't think so.
More, or do
is
we know
going
what
on?
that even means?
Don't know.
Who knows? Now we're stuck in a vault with Danny DeVito. Awesome.
And the safe cracker.
Yes.
Yeah, you put her in there. The door was closing. She was on the outside. You chose to put her inside. What kind of hard bullshit is that?
Look, man, it was just a move that I made. I didn't think it out.
Also, why did that woman's nose erupt in blood?
Because Sam failed his magic roll.
Oh,
He shot magic into her nose and wanted one effect.
Okay.
And instead, he still got a sneeze, but the sneeze was not what he expected.
I see.
Ruptured a nasal capillary. Poor darling.
Can someone who has access to chat, just while I'm thinking of it and before we log off, we posed 2 questions. One was to Wags about the robot butler, presumably at this point.
Oh, yeah. Can we do like a Marvel Cinematic Universe after the credits moment?
Yes.
Because I forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, how come I'm reaching for my fucking bumper? I had a bumper in mind. Yeah, so the alarm's flashing. The credits have rolled on the episode, and we come back up to a post-credits scene. And there is a bank of lockboxes that look different than the one Danny DeVito's key is in. He's still staring at Sly. Sly's still staring at him. Bryn's still staring at Rex. Oh, wait. Rex, you're inside. Everybody's staring at each other. When behind all of them, the lockboxes slide open. And from inside this hidden chamber, a robot butler steps out and says, well, bank defenses have been activated. Intruders inside the vault will now be dealt with. Actual blackout. Yeah, that's what I meant to do earlier.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, wow.
The other thing I want to honor while we're here is we did pose a question to Chad of if they wanted to cash in that trophy to ask something of Slakta. That'll be a little further up, but we should just notate that.
Oh, somebody said, how did Slakta die?
Cool.
I think. Mark.
Then when we return...
Yeah. I think that this will be a question that Sly will know the answer to.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a note of that. Would you also make a note of that, gang, so you can ask Sly?
Sure.
Yeah.
I have the answer to that, and she can provide it for you.
Okay. We do have a question from the Discord that came from Sketch Song. They want to know what, if you have one, a favorite holiday meal or treat, like that you make that only comes around during the December holiday season.
I am a fucking fiend for eggnog. I can drink like an entire carton in a sitting. And I love it. I'm going to have some after this stream, actually, because we have some in the fridge.
It's delicious in coffee, too.
Ooh!
Mm-hmm.
I'm just starting to dip my toe into the coffee world. Dip it.
Wow. I feel like you've been saying that for like 5 years.
Ma'am, excuse me. It is how dipping the toes works. For me, there's a... Do you guys ever have panettone?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the
Okay.
like Italian cake?
With the fruit in
Kind
it?
of like fruit bread cake thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, for whatever reason, the only time we ever had it was Christmas morning. We bought a thing. They come in these like sort of like a pyramid, but 4 sides, wrapped boxes. And I remember we would buy one like 3 weeks in advance. We just like had one sitting on the kitchen counter for a long time. And I just thought as a child that it was the most disgusting thing that I had ever eaten. I just could not fathom it. And like so many food experiences as a kid, I was a very picky eater as a kid. And since then, I have lost almost all of that discerning palate. And yeah, now I eat it. It's not a huge like sentimental story behind it. Thing that we only had at Christmas. I thought it was gross. Now I don't think anything's gross, and I just act like a human garbage disposal and put it all in my body.
You and me both, brother.
What's up?
So oddly, like these, my sister makes sugar cookies, like that are all in like the shape of snowmen and like pine trees and stuff like that, and like Christmas stars. And nobody in my family like ever talks about sugar cookies. It's not like a thing that anybody wants. It's not a thing that we ever think about. It's not something that I ever crave. And yet every Christmas, these cookies, like 3 or 4 plates of these cookies get made. And every year, all of us end up eating 4 plates of cookies before dinner. And just absolutely ruin our appetite every year. It is like the strangest phenomenon. And I guess it'll be different this year because all the extended family won't be there. But it's just this like parade of people talking, and you have like your drink or whatever, and you walk out in the living room and you pick up a cookie because it's so pretty, and you're just kind of looking at it. And then you eat one, and then you're talking to somebody, and they eat a cookie, and then you realize, 90 minutes has passed, is like the pre-dinner conversation has gone on, and there's like 5 cookies left, and nobody's hungry, and then we all sit down and we eat anyway. It's just so. I guess I'm not looking forward to those cookies as much as maybe trying to warn myself against consuming them this year. Anyway.
I can't remember if I've talked about it on stream before, but my mom makes something that she calls Swedish pancakes, which I have not. They're not crepes. They're almost like crepes. They're very similar to crepes, but they're different.
Are they Dutch babies?
Kind
of. No. Far. I would say far. If I understand what a Dutch baby is, I'd say far from it. But maybe I don't know what a Dutch baby is.
Yeah.
Dutch babies are those like very big in the pan. Yeah.
You put butter.
No, these are more like crepes. They are much more. They're like a little bit thicker than what I think of as a traditional crepe, but they are definitely not like a fluffy pancake by any means. And you are still supposed to roll them up and put something in the middle. And I've been now to several Swedish restaurants in Chicago that purportedly serve Swedish pancakes, and they taste nothing. They look nothing like what my mom makes. So I don't know where this recipe came from, or if it is legit at all. But basically, they're just crepes that you put lingonberries in, but they're not crepes. They're different.
Yeah. Can I share what is shocking to me about listening to this? Having for many years eaten this food and been kind of like this sort of like jovial asshole, I was like, oh, these are crepes. And it's been like a long-standing affectionate joke where Trin was like, fuck you, they're not crepes, they're Swedish pancakes. And this is the first time I have ever heard the slightest concession that they might in any way resemble crepes at all.
They're more similar to crepes than they are to pancakes, but they're still not crepes.
I know, but this is just what enormous strides. There's a chasm between this opinion now and the one before, which is like, I've never even heard of crepes.
I also love eggnog, but I can be very picky about the type of eggnog that I like. So I usually like the bullshit, like organic, fancy eggnog that Probably doesn't actually taste any better, but my brain has decided that it does.
Agreed.
That's so funny.
Those are my holiday things.
Gosh, I was gonna say Chex Mix because I make that every year, but I think for nostalgia, Casey, you reminded me. Ever since I was a kid, we've made. They're called Mary's sugar cookies. I don't know who Mary is, and they have almond in them. And my mom cuts out the shapes, and then we make frosting and we decorate them. But when my brother and I were a kid, as we got older, we would eat the cookie dough more and more every year in the fridge. And I remember one year we ate all the dough, and it was like a quadruple batch. And we were so ill that we could not eat those cookies for like 5 years. We were like, no more. And then as adults, we started making them every year. This is actually the first year we're not going to get together with my brother and his wife and kids and make Christmas cookies. So it's kind of sad. But yeah, it's just those almondy sugar cookies with the delicious frosting and like sprinkles on top. So yummy. And they're really good frozen. If you stick them in the freezer and then you eat one out of the freezer and like dip it in some coffee. It's so good.
Some coffee with some eggnog in it?
Some eggnog coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just reminded me about eggnog. We don't have any in the house right now, and I'm going to go get some tomorrow. It's delicious. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We will be here next week, I believe.
I think so. We're talking that is the plan. We're going to double check and we'll let everybody know via social.
Yeah. The plan is to be here next week for sure. Hopefully. And yeah, so thank you for hanging out. Thank you to Mark Thomason, working in the studio, doing all our behind the scenes fancy schmancy camera work, keeping the tech rolling. Thank you, Aaron Buman, for the intro that we were geeking out over again today after seeing it I don't know how many times. Like every time it's so good. Thank you to Mark Worky, our mod, for sending us Christmas cards and ornaments. Mine's on my tree, so I didn't bring it out, but I think she did mine in the colors of the Fire Planet, and it's just so thoughtful and amazing. And then all of your beautiful stories. She wrote about the dragons, and did we get the unicorn? No. I think she wrote about two creatures. She just dropped into the Discord, so go read it. I think it also was put out on Twitter. Thank you to Zombie Orpheus for hosting us on their Twitch. And I think it's just us next week. So yeah.
So tune in for us.
Yeah.
And Wag.
I think we should try
Zoe
to
game night tomorrow.
We should try to
Zoe game night tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, Wags. Thank you, Wags, for your donation.
Yeah, Wags. Sorry that I fucked up the Butler reveal, but we're going to start next session with a robot Butler fight. Prime time, okay? Top of the session. Everybody's going to be on their game. Robot Butler fight.
Yeah, I don't know if it was right, Mark, but another donation from Wags showed up. We're not sure, so, but regardless, thanks so much.
Wags, you rock!
Wags is great. Take care, you guys. Thank you.
We
so
love
much.
you, everybody. Thanks. Stay safe. Stay inside.
Don't eat too many cookies.
Get vaccinated when you can.
Hello.